The first thing you'll notice is the
What's up? Good morning, everybody, boys and girls. Welcome to CNET Live. Guess what? We are not here for an Apple event or a Samsung event. Donald's sitting right across from me. Stephen Beecham is over there.
What's up?
You know what we're here for? Microsoft Windows 10 event today.
Hey, Windows 10!
Woo!
Man, I remember the days of Windows 9 like it was yesterday.
It was yesterday. Kind of. So, guys, again, gals, we just want to welcome you to the show. Again, CNET Live here. There are, again, tons of interactive ways for you to engage with us. We want to hear what you guys are hoping to see, expecting. I know there are plenty. There are tons of Windows fans out there. You know, all those people that are Windows haters. I guarantee you everyone that is watching right now is using at least one Windows machine every day.
Somewhere.
At work, at home, or Windows Phone? Windows Phone? You got a Windows Phone?
Could be.
Could be. There's
Someone's
a lot of them
got
out there. So we're going to talk about what we expect to see here today. This is going to be Microsoft's Windows 10 event. They've already shown a preview off in September, but we're expecting to see a few other things. Also joining us remotely through the magic of the internet via Skype, he likes to call himself, what was it? King of the Drone? King of the Throne?
He'll remind us, I'm sure.
Come on. Mr. Dan Ackerman, what is your official title here today?
A defender of the Seven Kingdoms, uniter of the disparate thrones.
Defender of the throne, that's what it was.
I don't-
Yes. And section editor for CNET.
Yeah, that other part, too. Dan, welcome to the show, buddy. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Good to be here through the magic of Skype. Obviously, another fully owned Microsoft subsidiary.
Thanks for pointing that out. Hey, Dan, you cover a lot of devices. What are you expecting to see here today?
You know, this is going to be what they call the consumer preview of Windows 10. The version that we saw back in September, that was really kind of an under-the-hood look for people who are developing software, developing hardware, really sort of much more technical. This is kind of what you and I are going to see when we buy systems that have Windows 10 on it. So you'll see what the interface looks like, how it works, maybe a little bit about some of the new software they're working on that's going to be bundled in with Windows 10, like the new web browser. So things that are going to affect consumers who are going to go out and buy machines.
Yeah, and we just want to switch over and show you guys that CNET is on the scene in Redmond, Washington. Here's a live look, guys. This is legit.
The hallway shot.
Exclusive. No one else got this. Press is going in. This is the hallway of the room for the keynote. There. Hey, say what's up. Oh, man. See, that guy.
No,
the guy's too cool for school.
If he heard you, I'm sure he would have.
He totally would have. So there you go. We have our team out there, our news team. Editors galore, covering everything live blogging. Nick Stat, Nate Ralph will be there. They've been covering Windows 10. Karsu Boy and our news team are also there, so they'll have all the latest videos coming out of there for the Windows 10 event. So what we'd like to do before we get things rolling, again, I kind of didn't really spell out how they can engage with us.
Well,
that's probably my
multiple
fault.
ways. I think
what are some of those ways?
The most fun way to get involved
Yes.
is to call us. We actually have phone lines open. It's 1-888-900-CNET. And that comes right to Allison, who's taking the call, screening them for weirdos, and then letting through the normal people who want to ask us questions that are related to the Microsoft 10, Windows 10 event.
And you guys can ask us anything. What did Donald eat for breakfast? How many donuts did Donald eat for breakfast? That actually is a better question.
That's
I mean, we should have him guess, right?
That should be something.
How many donuts did Donald have for breakfast
I'm actually
today?
scared of what people are going to guess.
I
know that guy loves donuts.
There's a lot of those glazed or chocolate. What's your
There's
take?
multiple ways we could take this, Brian.
All right, let's go.
Okay, wait. There's another way.
Where's
too.
the other way? I forgot
Twitter.
about this.
Twitter. You can tweet with a hashtag CNET Live, right?
See, I thought you never paid attention for all these years of us working together.
Yeah.
Like, I would say this every dang show.
Yeah, no.
And Donald would just look glazed over like, oh,
I'm just playing it cool. I'm just playing it cool, that's all.
Playing it cool?
Yep.
Okay, so hashtag CNET Live. You guys tell us what are you thinking? What are you expecting to see? What do you hope to see? But again, like Donald said, the best way to reach us is to call us, engage, and interact.
It's a lot of fun, but also remember, when you do call us, turn down your computer, all right? That feedback loop. Every time. Every time.
You know what? Even though you said that, I'm going to wait for the first
call.
We got to have some sort of like under-over of like which caller that calls.
I'm going to say there's going to be two this today.
Two
maybe.
under-over? We'll see. I'll give it one if they're smart and they're listening. Okay, guys, what we also have is our team over there at Redmond, Washington. They're covering the event in Redmond. Again, our own Karsu Boy and Nick Stat. They filed this video report a short time ago, so let's check it out and see what they have to talk about and what we can expect to see.
Nick, tell us a little bit more about this event and what we know.
So, yeah, we're here at Building 92, and the event's going to start at 9 a.m. It's going to run for about 2.5 hours.
Wow,
yeah, one of the longest events. They said comparable to Microsoft's Build Developer Conference. And we're going to hear all about Windows 10, specifically Windows 10 on mobile devices like the Surface tablet and Windows Phone. We're going to get to see what it's going to look like at long last.
Right, and that's a big push with this release, isn't it, to make this operating system compatible across devices?
Yes, CEO Satya Nadella has what's called a One Windows vision that he's trying to push throughout the company, and that means Windows 10 is supposed to run on your desktop, your laptop, your tablet, and your smartphone. The same operating system, essentially. It'll still look a little bit different depending on what device you're on, but essentially it'll be able to move across all devices, and they want it to be able to be seamless. One app store, one app for all devices.
And what about some of the nitty-gritty, the details of the user experience? What do we know so far?
Well, Microsoft had to kind of hit the reset button with Windows 10. Windows 8 was not well received. It was a little bit too aggressive of a push with the touch interface. Mm-hmm. This is going to be a little bit back to basics with Windows. It's going to look a little bit like Windows 7, but it's going to have more modern design touches, and it's going to try and look a little bit more familiar to hardcore PC users so that they're not put off again like they were with Windows 8.
For example, that beloved start button is back, right?
The start button is back, yes, and so in the live tiles that we used to call the Metro interface, those are a little bit back too, but they're going to be integrated into the start menu. So they're going to try and marry kind of what they liked about Windows 8 and what was great about Windows 7 into one concept, and they're going to call that Windows 10.
Also expected is a new browser that Microsoft's launching. Tell us.
Yes, it's codenamed Spartan right now. We're unsure if we're going to get the real name today or if we're going to get more details about it, but right now it's separate from Internet Explorer, meaning Internet Explorer will stick around for legacy software purposes so that people who are familiar with it and use it in their programs can rely on Internet Explorer. But for the mass amount of consumers, Spartan will be the new lightweight, fast Chrome competing browser for Microsoft.
What does Microsoft have to do with this announcement to not fail and flop like Windows 8 did?
Microsoft really has to convince people that it can take Windows forward and that it can be trusted not to screw this up. Windows 7 is still the most popular desktop operating system in the world with more than half of all PC users. Windows XP, which came out 14 years ago, is more popular than Windows 8.
Wow.
Yes, it has.
Goodie but a goodie.
Yes, so Windows really Microsoft really has to make sure that Windows 10 is something people are going to want to upgrade to.
Yeah. And what do we know about the upgrade, the cost structure, and the release date, all that?
We're pretty sure we're going to hear about that today, a release date and a price tag, but we're unsure if Microsoft is going to go the way of free like Apple has in the past.
Yeah.
It doesn't quite seem to make sense for them business-wise to not charge for their operating system, but you never know, and going forward, Microsoft with Windows 10.1 or Windows 11 can very well go free.
Yeah, all right. Well, a lot of details yet to be determined. As you can tell, it's a chilly morning out here in Redmond, Washington. The event starts in a little over an hour or so for us, and we'll be heading inside. Nick Stott and Nate Ralph will be live blogging the event, and be sure to check back on CNET.com for all sorts of reviews and hands-on videos. Thanks so much, Nick.
Yeah.
I'm Cara Savoy. Thanks for watching. See ya.
Oh man, you know how they said it was so cold here? Put your hands up. You feel that nice warm fire?
It's nice in here.
Oh, that toasty fire,
Yeah.
the toasty studio.
And with,
Dan Ackerman, are you feeling toasty right now?
Actually, I lost Dan for
Oh,
a second.
oh no,
trying to
Dan's
get
not
it back.
toasty. Okay, that totally. We tried to make that work, but I'm feeling here. Let's touch it. I can
there
reach
you
your
go.
fingertips. That's so cool. Okay,
It's amazing.
it's amazing. So guys, we're gonna go to the phone lines. They are locked and loaded all the way through. You know what? I think our buddy, this guy has called before, but I'm gonna see if this is who I think it is. Alberto in Sacramento. Alberto, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up, Brian?
Hey, you called before, haven't you?
Yeah.
See, I remember. I remember you. What's going on, buddy? What did you want to talk about today?
I don't know. Just see if, like, Microsoft, any new stuff that they're going to show, to make, like, people want to go back to Windows, like all the screw-ups with Windows 8 and 8.1.
Yeah, are you a Windows user yourself? Or are you a Mac user? I'm just trying to get a point of reference.
Well, right now I use both. I have a Windows laptop, but only because, like, they give me that laptop. Desktop, I have an iMac.
All right, you know what, though? Alberto makes a good point right off the bat when you're just talking about Windows 8, how it's all screwy, right? We saw Windows 8, those of you that aren't familiar enough with it, with their all-Metro interface, their goal was they were going to say, this is the Metro UI that we're going to give to everyone, very blocky, all tiles-based, whether you were on a laptop or a small mobile device, a tablet, or a phone. That didn't resonate very well if you were just a desktop user, and, your disdain for Windows 8 for yourself is pretty common amongst the Windows peeps.
Yeah, and also this might be a good strategy for Microsoft to just give their product away, just give laptops to people and see if it works. Apparently, in this case, it didn't, though. I talked to two people yesterday. I was telling them, like, oh, yeah, tomorrow I'm covering Microsoft's Windows 10 event. And they're like, oh, there's a new version of Windows come out. And they're like, is it going to be more complicated than Windows 8? I kept having to explain to people, like, this is like a retreat in some ways to like a simpler version of, or like a more familiar version of Windows, and then explaining to people the jump from 8 to 10. But it sounds like a lot of people just didn't bite
Hands
on
off
Windows
on-
8.
yeah,
Yeah,
hands
they
off
still
on 8.
weren't running Windows 7 machines.
Yeah, and Steven, I don't know if you have a chance to pull up one of the videos of just kind of some of the B-roll so people that are watching can get a sense of what, excuse me, there's a frog in my throat, a sense of Windows 10. This is from the preview. This is the start menu that everyone's talking about, the familiar start menu that you see on the left, but now kind of integrated with those
Metroized,
tiles. Yeah,
yeah.
metroized on the right side. A lot of cool things here where you have windows that are, actual applications don't take up the full screen anymore. You can have them. There's Outlook where they just blew it up to the full screen, but these full screen apps that used to just take over your machine can be, resized down to smaller windows, multiple windows. This is just showing you guys how you can jump in between the full screen kind of Metro UI or not. But one of the big things that sticks out for Windows 10 to me is really just bringing back that Windows 7 feel with a little bit of Windows 8 flavor. They went all out on the whole Metro UI tiles interface that it would look like a huge retreat if they completely eliminated that.
Yeah, well, it sounds like what they're doing too is like a kind of hardware detection where we saw in that video when it was in like a laptop mode with the keyboard connected, it had like the desktop as the default and that you were using that. As soon as you detach the keyboard, it recognized that we were more in like a tablet mode. It says, do you want to enter tablet mode? And then suddenly everything's kind of full screen and it's relying more on touch icons, touch-friendly icons instead of like a desktop. So it's being a little bit more intelligent about what kinds of hardware will present different versions of that Windows 10 experience instead of just slapping the same
Force feeding you, basically.
using the same formula of that OS on every single machine.
Yeah.
And so especially if they're going to cross all the way down into smartphones, that hardware detection is really key.
And there's good things that came out of it too, because hey, Alberto, are you still there, buddy?
Yeah, I'm still here, Brian. Hey, Brian.
Yeah, here. You know what? Let me ask you a quick question before we let you go. What is it for you that you think, you're a Mac user and a Windows user? Is there anything that Windows can do for you today to show you that, okay, you know what, you're gonna go and upgrade to Windows 10? Because that's really what it all comes down to. What do they need to show you to go to Windows 10?
Probably like more easier, more simpler interface. More like Mac, like simpler and newer stuff from Windows 7. Hey, Brian.
Yeah, what's up?
Do you guys have prizes this time?
That's right. He called for the prize last. You know what? Right now we do not, because we just got back from CES. We just restarted our CNET life maybe a few days ago. So I've got to reboot. I've got to recollect my treasures for y'all, and then I will deliver something the next time you see us. Okay?
Yeah, because remember last time I called during the iPad event, you said to call the next CNET Live event.
Oh man, you let him down twice now.
Hey, Alberto, can you just email me, man, and I will take care of you.
Oh, you got it.
Okay, well, I don't have your email.
Do you have my Twitter?
Yeah, the Twitter, yeah.
Okay, tweet me. I know Alberto from Sacramento, and then we'll get in touch. Okay?
Yeah, high tech 17.
All right, I got you, man. Everyone that's watching,
Right.
Thanks for calling, Alberto. Everyone that's watching is like, I'm Alberto from Sacramento.
No, I'm looking for the next 4 calls, all being like, Brian, where's my prize?
The
Beat
funny
me
thing,
up in the mothership, Brian.
Alberto was on top of it. He was the
Free.
first caller of the day,
Yeah.
so he was like, oh, I'm going to get
Getting this guy
Tom.
down.
Tom's going to give me a damn prize today. All right, let's go to Eric in Riverdale, almost like Rivendell. Eric, how you doing,
Hey,
man?
Brian.
What's up?
Not a whole lot. Hey, I enjoyed the Googlicious and the Applebite.
Do you enjoy Top 5 also? My friend Donald Bell does Top 5.
Donald, I was going to say that. You beat me to it.
Okay.
Ah, well.
You got to kiss
I'm
everyone's...
glad it got in there, one way or the other. I'm taking that as genuine.
Yeah, you got to kiss everyone's butt before you... You can't kiss one person's butt here. In fact, when Steve Beacham comes back in, our producer,
find a way to
you're going to have to come up with a way to, to say, this is the best live production I've ever seen. Steven, you are amazing, okay? If you can say that when he comes
Steven
back.
has the CNET bite. What is it again?
He does Crave.
Yeah,
Crave.
talk about
Crave.
Crave.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an amazing show.
And, just for those of you watching that haven't watched CNET Live before, Eric is not a plant. He's not someone that works for a company. Oh, Steven's
No.
back. Eric, did you want to say something to Steven?
No, Steven. Yeah. Go for the Crave blog. Rocks.
Yeah, Crave Block. There you go.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
See it?
Thank you very much.
See,
Equal opportunity.
This
butt
is the one
kissing,
guy
man.
that watches it. That's awesome.
Well,
I
Beach.
do watch it. I mean, I'm a big YouTuber, so I watch it a lot on YouTube. So I like it a lot.
Also,
Cool, man.
Steven,
Thank you very much.
You
Appreciate
you
it.
missed the fact that he was complimenting us, and I said you have to compliment everyone in the room. You can't just only compliment one person. But he did know Crave.
Cool.
Okay.
That's rad.
All right,
Eric.
I'm sure he has a Windows 10 question here, Brian.
I do. So
We're working on it.
I work for a healthcare organization here in Utah, and we are still on Windows 7.
Makes sense.
We
Makes
did
complete
not
sense.
upgrade to Windows 8 simply because of the huge change, and I'm curious to see if Microsoft will get it right with Windows 10 for the enterprise, and if the enterprises in general will adopt it.
I think there's a few things that are at least look good from the enterprise side. Obviously, just the actual UI and navigating is going to be familiar for everyone that has used Windows 7 before. I think that's one of the things that they're like, wow, maybe we should go with what people. Windows 7 resonated with users.
Mm-hmm.
There's still people on earlier machines.
Yeah,
even
actually,
even
I
at
just
that.
did I think it was like last week they officially shut down free support for Windows 7. They're still supporting the OS and doing updates, but the actual free support that they've been offering since its release is now being taken away. And there's, from what I understand, I don't know the exact number, but the majority of Windows users out there, I believe, are running Windows 7 still. Like Windows 8 still wasn't able to capture the majority share of Windows usage. So Microsoft knows that they're eventually going to be pulling support entirely from Windows 7 and 2020. and they've got to move those users to somewhere, or those users are going to be moving to another operating system. So they really have to make those users happy and get those people on board with the new operating system.
And then I think another thing, at least moving forward with that, is that this new Windows 10, and they're having this whole strategy where they're trying to pop it on every device possible, but have it be adaptable. That's going to help from an enterprise standpoint, specifically when you're talking about now, you're seeing in the enterprise world tablets being used as more of a tool than it ever has been before. The actual kernel inside Windows 10 is going to be the same across all devices. They're touting it as one core, so it includes all those DLLs, files that are able to communicate with each other and have these operating systems run more seamlessly on these different devices. So I think that's another advantage from the enterprise side, where Windows 8 was such a dramatic leap, and they were a just completely different way of using your machine. And guess what? Not everyone wanted to do that, and the upgrade cycle showed that. And so I think from that standpoint, if you kind of throw all those things together, that's Windows 10 is going to work better in that way for the enterprise side.
I think there was
like,
also,
we have thousands and thousands of iPads already and iPhones, but we have zero window devices for medical uses. We build a custom app for the iPad, and we still use that for the tablet. It'll be interesting to see if it competes. The Windows tablets. Our current infrastructure.
No, absolutely, Eric. And I think the Surface Pro 3, I mean, really, that device was kind of the device that showed, yes, you can have an actual hybrid type tablet / keyboard device that actually works. Now, I think with Windows 10, that's going to actually amp up the usability of that, because I always hated when you're using a Surface Pro tablet, some of the settings, you would actually have to go to the desktop mode to tweak the settings and then jump back into the Metro UI. Right. And that's just a pain. No one wants to do that. So I think from that standpoint, even just the usability of it is going to help a lot. I know it takes a lot of resources for any company to build an app, and your company's probably the iPad specific app that you have built for your infrastructure is there. I don't know if they're like, okay, all of a sudden you're going to transition to Windows tablets. That's not going to happen overnight. It might over time. But, the Surface Pro 3, although it didn't do gangbusters in sales, it did do well for Microsoft overall. It was something like $900 million in their Q1, their most recent financial quarter. So it wasn't a flop. It just, because the tablet race and how it's shaken out. Yeah, honestly, it's an awesome device.
It's still battery life issues. I gotta imagine if you're taking a tablet around, a hospital all day long, like there's the battery life gains between an iPad and a Surface, as beefed up and as awesome as the Surface can be, it's still, even with Windows 10, it's gonna be serving up 4 different flavors of an operating system and have a lot of horsepower to be able to handle lots of different applications. But for all the optimizations of an iPad. And the dumbing down of the iPad to a very simple, one-touch interface, you do get the battery life gains, and especially I think in a situation like his, that Microsoft's not going to be able to make that up with a new operating system.
So we will see, Eric. But thanks for calling, buddy. Yeah. All right.
Hey, take care.
All right, thank you. All right, you know what? We got our ringer back.
The defender of the throne has returned.
No,
It's odd. We were using Skype, this Microsoft technology, and all of a sudden I got disconnected just when I was going to say something about how much trouble Microsoft was having. If we were using Google Hangouts, I'm not sure this would have happened.
I love the double branding that's happening on Dan's screen there. Can we get any more red balls on this?
That's right.
A couple floating around your head.
Might have a few more.
Oh, no, Here we go. That's real nice. Hey, Dan, you know what? Because we haven't actually talked to you because you disappeared on us, and there are actually a lot of things that, we wanted to ask you. Is Microsoft's strategy here, right? We're seeing how they're talking about Windows 10, multiple devices, but the ability to detect your hardware and be a little more adaptable compared to just force-feeding Metro UI. What do you think about that overall?
And that's what happened with Windows 8, the thing that we used to call the Metro UI. I still kind of call it that, even though they got rid of that name before the operating system launched. They said, listen, this is what it's going to look like, and you're going to use it, and you're going to like it, and that's it. And Windows users, PC users, generally tend to be people who want to tinker a little bit more and want to customize their experience. Whereas if you're using a Mac, Apple makes the hardware, they make the software. It's designed to work together in a very small, sort of closed ecosystem, and you're okay that you don't have all the same options options that you do on a Windows system, because that's a little bit more the Wild West. So that's where I think they went off the rails. They kind of tried to force this new look down, down on everybody, even if you weren't using a tablet. And even on a tablet, frankly, it wasn't that great. And a lot of the apps in that Metro UI, especially the Metro version of Internet Explorer, it had limited functionality compared to what you were used to just using the desktop app. So I think people missed the flexibility. And if Windows 10 can successfully transition based on whether you're using a tablet, whether you plug in a keyboard, a small device, a large device, that could certainly go a long way towards making people more comfortable with it. But I think they found that everyone went back to the desktop because we've been using it for 20 years. It's tough to break that habit.
You know what, Dan? We've seen Apple release their OS updates for free constantly. What does your gut tell you about what Microsoft might do here today? Donald brought up, does it have to be free?
Now, it's a totally different business model. Apple has OS 10, and they have had that version for many years. And what they say that they release every year is just sort of a minor update. It's like a version, 10.1, 10.2, 10.3. With Microsoft, they come back every 3 or 4 or so years with a whole new ground-up thing. You have to install this gigantic package or buy it again. It's not this download one decimal point version update. Maybe they should move to that. Maybe they should just call it Windows, and it's Windows whatever 10.1, 10.2, 10.3, and they never come up with a new name again. Once you start, remember they used to do 98, 95, Windows Millennium. Once you put a year on it, you really sort of automatically date it. But it's a different business model. I can't imagine it's going to be free because they don't get the money from selling the hardware like Apple does, because Apple just makes the money on the hardware. They don't care if you get the software for free.
Yeah, you know what? Here's another question we have on Twitter. Yes, we are listening to our friends on Twitter. I've got this from Dan Zimmer. Hashtag CNET Live if you guys want to be on the show, all right? Here, look, Dan, right up top here. See that, Dan? It's all you, baby. He asks, will this impact the Xbox One? Will there be any impact on this?
I'm surprised we haven't had more Xbox and Windows PC sort of crosstalk over the past however many years, 5 or 6 years since the Xbox 360 came out, for example. There's an Xbox app you can get on like your Microsoft tablet or laptop, but it's not really sort of communicating the way it should. The menus are starting to come together. Like the Xbox One looks a little bit more Metro-like.
Hey, you're not supposed to say that anymore, Dan, remember?
That's right.
You're not allowed. I've been saying Metro all day, too.
What do they call it? The modern interface, the tablet, the
Tiles.
Tiles.
Let's go with
There's no
tiles.
hotter, sexier tech term than tiles. It's either high tech or you're redoing your kitchen.
Hey, Dan, say it again.
Tiles.
There you go.
Tiles.
Here, do a little tiger claw like tiles.
Tiles.
You're a sick man, Dan Ackerman.
Oh man.
Yeah, we were taking a caller earlier, and one of the things that with Windows 10 is that the kernel is going to be the same across the board. So they've said that it's going to be able to be more compatible with specifically the Xbox One, but we'll have to kind of see how that all plays out. But yeah, that's one of the advantages that we hope to see, just because that is their set-top box in the home. I mean, it's their TV set-top box moneymaker.
Apple doesn't have OS 10 Pro and OS 10 Consumer and OS 10 Media Center Edition. They have one version that works on their handful of machines, but then they have a separate operating system for the mobile products, iOS, and they've said that those are different experiences, whether you're using, a big tablet or a phablet-sized phone or something like that. That's a different experience. It's a touch experience, and it wouldn't be appropriate to have the same operating system for both. Microsoft is kind of going the other way and saying, here's our one operating system, and it'll adjust itself based on what you're doing. It's kind of a big risk. It didn't really work with Windows 8. We'll see how it works with Windows 10, but there may be a philosophical difference between a clamshell laptop or desktop experience and a touch-based experience that just OS tweaks cannot bridge.
Yeah. All right, guys, just to give you an update of what's happening, we're expecting Microsoft's keynote to start sometime soon. It's expected to be at 9 a.m. Pacific time. That's a live look inside. We will jump directly to the keynote. Now, just to brace yourselves here, we've been told it'll be anywhere from 2 to 2.5 hours. A 2.5 hour tour. A 2.5 hour tour. Steven, a 2.5 hour tour. A 2.5 hour tour.
I'm not doing that.
You did the little tiles.
Yeah, you did.
Right?
Hey, Dan, your role is tiles.
Tiles. 2.5 hours of tiles.
Yes. We're
All right,
hiding the tiles now. That's
let's
gonna be
go.
what's happening.
Let's go to the phone lines. All right.
Wait, they're starting.
They're starting already? Oh my goodness. Okay.
Sound.
Let's see. Do we have it?
Oh, he's frozen.
Oh, he's frozen.
Do you
Well,
want
once
to
we
build
have
a
him,
window
We're leaving
People
and
watching.
coming back. Do we want
with
to tell
an
people
all-new
we're
start
coming back?
menu? Yeah, we'll tell people we're coming back.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we're not going to be talking over the whole thing. Right?
No, yeah, we're not going to be talking over the whole thing. We're going to make sure that the keynote, it looks like it just started. It's a little laggy on our side. It's stand by, guys. We will be here. I was trying to sing a Windows song because you said Frozen, but then I decided probably not the best to keep our viewers here.
No. So
Do you
the
wanna
event will
build a
happen.
Windows?
2.5 hours. If you haven't fallen asleep, tune back into us. Or
We'll just
keep,
wrap it up.
Stay here. We're going to do a wrap up. We'll probably take some more calls, maybe.
We might try. Okay, we're going to go to the keynote, guys.
No audio froze.
All of you, it's still frozen?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, let's just take a call while they're doing it because Reese's been waiting on the line. Reese left his volume on.
Well, that's one, right? We got one.
Reese, what's up, Reese?
One for two.
Hello?
Hey, what's going on?
Up?
What's going on? Reese.
All right. All good here in India. It's hot.
Reese, turn down the volume of your computer so you can talk to me like you're talking on the phone. But I think it's... See, I can still hear
Yeah, I did turn down my volume. Yeah.
Okay, good. Reese from India, thank you for calling, my man. That is awesome.
Yeah, thank you very much. Good to hear you, Brian and Donald and Steven.
Hey!
All right.
So, Reese, what did you want to talk about?
Yeah, I wanted to know if Windows 10 can take over Mac OS, like in the terms of functionality. Like if I can take my messages on my laptop as well as on my phone and reply to my calls in the same way Mac OS does.
Well, right now we haven't seen any continuity type features from Windows in 10. I think if you're looking for that type of stuff, we're going to have to wait and see. One similar feature that they are introducing is like virtual desktops and even something like Expose where you can get an over-the-top look of your entire computer, right? Every app that's open. Also, if you want to have different workspaces, so maybe one is all about, your internet surfing, then you can switch over to a different virtual desktop that's more about, gaming and work and things. That's going to be integrated into Windows 10. So, it'll have some of the features, but not everything you're looking for. But you know what, Reese, I think we're going to jump over to the keynote right now. We've got it. It's flowing.
Okay.
And we'll talk to you soon, okay? Thanks so much for calling.
Thanks for calling.
Experience
Yeah,
for our
thank you.
Windows and Xbox users. With Windows 10, universal Windows apps come to Xbox One, the most fun game console ever. And Windows 10 has support for today's maker boards, enabling makers to do incredible things with Windows in the fast-growing Internet of Things space. Windows 10 is the only platform that enables innovation across this broad family of devices. Developers can target all of these device types with one platform and one store. And stay tuned until later today as our device family expands. Now, since September, we have received a lot of feedback from customers, partners, and press. But the most important feedback has come from our Windows Insider program. We're humbled that 1.7 million have signed up to shape Windows 10 with us. They've installed Windows 10 over 3 million times on a broad spectrum of PCs. This is a testament, I think, to not only the quality of Windows 10 this early, but the
Okay, guys, looks like I'm not sure how it's going for you guys back at home, but our stream is freezing a little bit up and down over here. So what we wanted to point you guys to is, again, we have our live blog. It's at live.cnet.com. So you guys can follow all that. We have our live bloggers covering the event as it's happening as well.
This appears on various
So that's what you'll want to do, you know, for now, just to do that. And I guess
we'll work on this.
This is really the future of building
It looks like we
Windows.
may
We're
have
doing
it.
it.
yeah,
But
it's
gonna
still
be jumping in. We're going to be working on this.
my goodness. Okay, so let's go to the blog, y'all. Again, you guys can tweet us at hashtag CNET Live if you would like. We did ask you earlier how many donuts did Donald have, and I do have a response from our friend Alexander Moore: 2 glazed and 1 chocolate.
Oh, that's very specific.
Very specific. Was he close?
No.
We're getting
No.
feedback.
Okay. Is it still freezing, or is it coming in and out, or how are you doing over?
Coming in and out.
Okay.
That you give us,
Here's what we
actions on it.
see right
We know how much time and dedication
All
you
right.
are giving us.
Without you, we wouldn't be where we are today.
When we started Windows 10, we had a vision of having our window switchers, so Alt-Tab and Task View. And one of the pieces of feedback we received was people love that, but they thought Alt-Tab was a little too jarring. And so we made a change based on your feedback to make Alt-Tab a little more familiar, but still retain all those benefits.
There actually is a real translation between feedback that's given and impact or changes that we're making in the product.
We're listening.
Thank you for all you have done so far, and we will definitely repay your investment with a great release.
You're showing us your commitment to Windows. We want you to know that we're committed to you.
There simply isn't a path forward for Windows without a direct connection with the customer. The Windows Insider program gives us that connection at an earlier phase than at any other time in the history of Windows.
We're co-creating the future of Windows with you.
One of the beautiful things about this program is that kind of feel connected to people in Tokyo who love Windows just as much as I do. This is not just a Redmond thing, this is a global thing. So wherever you are, it's our Windows.
To all the insiders tuned in today, a special thank you from everyone on the team. Your feedback and your time are really helping to shape the future of Windows. And if you have not joined, now is the time. Please go to windows.com and sign up for free. So now, I want to take you back
Okay. Guess what? You're gonna have to look at our faces for a little bit. We got some technical difficulties.
to these areas.
There he goes.
See, this always, yeah.
As soon as we start talking, he's back on.
Is he back on again?
For a minute.
I got another stream here. So let's see if
All right, let's see. We're gonna try one more.
Smart devices that
Okay.
families,
Guess
ourselves,
what? You're
or
gonna
in
have
the
to look at our
workplace,
faces
it's
for a little bit. We got some
exploding all
technical
around us.
difficulties.
It should be easy to put one
this
device
always- yeah.
down
As soon
and
as we
pick
start
another
talking,
up, pick another, and continue where you left off. The technology needs to get out of the way and provide mobility of the experience. The second area was trust. In our connected, people care about their privacy, and so do we. So everything we do puts the customer in control, because you are our customer, not our product. And the third, natural interactions. Interacting with technology should be as natural as interacting with people. Voice, pen, gestures, and your gaze should help you get more out of your devices in an additive and intuitive way. The right interaction in the right way at the right time. With you 2 cinemagraphs we created back then during the earliest days of Windows 10. Before we wrote a line of code, we wanted the team to be visualizing the world in which Windows 10 would live and how Windows 10 would add value for our customers. These cinemagraphs inspired us and got us dreaming about more personal computing. First, we envisioned the workplace. There's that explosion of devices, many running Windows, some not. And while these individual devices offer value, they struggle to work well together. The apps are different. The content is hard to move around between my devices. And not only my devices, but those of my colleagues in the company. Every meeting starts with a dance about how to project, or ends with this discussion about how do we get meeting notes out or the whiteboard out to everyone involved. The mobility of the experience just isn't there. You should be able to print with a flick or transfer a Skype call with a simple, natural, and intuitive gesture. And businesses need to trust that their corporate data is protected and managed as it moves between all of these devices. We were inspired to bring more personal computing to the workplace. And then at home, we had that same explosion of smart devices. PCs, phones, tablets, game consoles, smart appliances, and innovative new devices like wearables. Whether doing homework or playing a great game, the opportunity is there to make an experience that is more mobile across the devices. We see a world where you can share that experience across all the devices using ink, voice, gestures, and gaze, making technology really come to life. And with devices being brought home from work and younger kids having to the home.
Okay, guys, so what it sounds like is happening not only with us, but other sites around is that Microsoft Stream is having some chugging problems. So we're working the best way we can to try and resolve that for you. I mean, we've tried 3 different sources, so we're going to keep on attacking that. But since that's down for now, we're just going to kind of hang out. If you guys want to still hang out with us, we have our live blog going. You can even let us know, hashtag CNET Live, if you guys are having streaming problems with the Microsoft Keynote, because we just can't imagine 3 tries and we strike out like that. Is that possible, Donald?
I don't think so. Not with our crack team of experts here.
Well, that's a nice company line right there. That's very good. So they were talking about, Windows 10, obviously, it'll be free to all Windows 7 users after its first year.
And also 8.1 devices, apparently. But it's going to do a full year of Windows 10 is going to be available. I mean, for the first year of Windows 10, people have to buy it.
Yes, correct.
And then after that year, they're going to just try to get everybody. They're going to open the gates to everybody,
That's
That's an interesting technique. I haven't seen that done before, where it's like, hey, you're going to want to buy our hotness right after it's released. And then for people who didn't get in, we're going to open up the gates to make it free for everybody.
So yeah, I mean, obviously we were trying to figure out the stream and what was going on there.
Word I have on the street is that we've tried a fourth computer and it's working now. So.
Hey, you know what? We're gonna keep on.
Pretty system wide. There's a lot of people watching. So.
Okay, that's cool. Well, you know what? If you want to hang out with us, that'll be cool.
But I think this is probably the question everyone wants to have
Computer 4 froze.
Computer 4 froze.
Is the freeness. Everyone was asking about the freeness of Windows 10. So now there's an interesting answer to that. But the problem I find is, like, if people have waited this long to upgrade, they've waited all the way through from Windows 7 all the way through Windows 8. Why wouldn't they wait just another year to get the free version of Windows 10? Is it just the enterprise users, maybe? I don't know.
Well, it's, the thing about it is, okay, so the first year after Windows 10 is available, they're making it free to all devices running Windows 8.1, okay?
Or 7.
Or 7. It's also a free upgrade coming to Windows Phone 8.1. There's the picture. That's after the first year, right?
Yeah.
So they already, you said recently, right, they're dropping free support for Windows 7.
Right, they just did.
I would imagine most consumers that are probably happy with Windows 7 are just going to hang out and be like, you know what, I don't really need to jump to 10 yet.
Yeah.
Now, maybe from an enterprise side where
we'll be back here this time next year to remind people that Windows 10 is now available for free.
I mean, a lot of people forget that a lot of the money that Microsoft makes is from the enterprise side of Windows.
And so
their cloud services.
Yeah.
So, if that's where they know based on their numbers, like, look, that's the group that's going to be upgrading most of the time. And they'll probably be okay with just, okay, then after a year, everyone else who probably wasn't going to pay for it can just get it for
The other
free.
good news is that once you wait to get the free version of Windows 10, not just a year from now, but a year from when they release it in the fall, right, is that you'll get a year's worth of kinks worked out in Windows 10, too. People who upgrade to that free version of Windows 10 will have a much stronger operating system than 10 will probably be out the gate.
Yeah. True that. Okay. So let me just see what our friends here are saying on the interwebs with our favorite hashtag, CNET Live. All right, yeah, we're getting a lot of people saying lots of lag. Stream is worse than Apple's in September from Michael Fry.
Here's our stream right here.
Is that from Microsoft directly?
Yeah. Well, no, it's from.
I saw someone show up there.
There he is.
Okay,
It really is a monumental
why don't we hang with it
Yeah,
and kind
yeah.
of moderate it?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
guess?
We'll just
Windows
stay on top
as
of
a
it.
service is great for consumers. It's great for developers, and it's great for the security of our enterprise customers. Windows 10 is so much more than the latest version of Windows. Windows 10 changes the rules of the game and redefines the relationship between us and our customers. So by now, I'm sure you want to see Windows 10 devices and experiences in action. So I'm going to invite up 4 of our leaders to show you more of Windows 10. First, Joe Belfiore will join us to show you the most productive Windows 10 experiences ever on PCs, 2-in-1s, and tablets. And for the first time, Windows 10 on a phone. Then Phil Spencer will join us to discuss gaming on Windows 10. And then Hayat Gallo and Alex Kittman will join us to discuss 2 entirely new Windows experiences. So please join me in welcoming Joe B.
Morning. Hi there, I'm Joe Belfiore, and I manage a part of Terry's team that's focused on PCs, tablets, and phones. And I'm excited to be here today with all of you to give you a first look at Windows 10 and how we've updated across that wide range of devices. He kind of gave an intro already, so are you all ready? Would you like to see a demo? Yes, demo, yeah, all right. Let's come right over here. And the first thing I want to do is recap some of the work that we've done on the core experience in the PC since we first announced Windows 10 back in September and started up our Insider program. So you can see here I've got my demo machine set up. The taskbar is a little more streamlined here. We have our search box that we added throughout as we were going along the Insider program. I'll open up the Start menu. You'll see the visuals have evolved a little bit there.
Okay. We're gonna jump around. Start menu freeze. Guys, they can hear us, right?
Yeah.
Live stream, guys. Start menu freeze
And
just
one of the
before the
features
demo.
that people have asked about a lot, we now have in our builds, that's the ability to take the start menu full screen. So all those people with touch devices or that are comfortable with and like the Windows 8 style of UI for the start menu now have a customization option that lets them use the PC the way they would like. And of course, I can go right back here and put it back to its small mode, which is familiar to those people coming from Windows 7. Now, another of the areas that our insiders asked about, and that there were a bunch of questions around, was how are we going to deal with the touch gestures, and how is the charms bar going to evolve? And I want to show you here, when I pan in from the right, we now bring up our updated Action Center. And the Action Center is the place where you can do quick actions, like down here on the bottom. I can expand these quick action buttons, and you'll see I have things like a fast way to turn on or off airplane mode. Up above, we have notifications, and these are coming from all the apps that you have installed on your system. And one of the cool new things in this build, I can expand these notifications here, and you'll see that applications can add in things like buttons or images or edit controls. So as notifications appear, you can interact directly with the app in a way that the software developer designs up front. Now, one last thing I want to show here in this sort of core experience evolution is how we're evolving our settings experience. So I'm going to go right here and touch all settings. We've heard our insiders say that they'd like us to fix up the confusion between the control panel and the settings in Windows 8. So we're going to bring those things together in one UI that'll be familiar to people coming from Windows 7 and handy for people used to Windows 8. So that's the core, sort of the core shell. The other thing that we really talked about in September that's very important to Windows 10 is the Continuum feature. And Continuum is about enabling a two-in-one device like this, which I've been using like a laptop, to transform elegantly into sort of a tablet form factor. So let me restore some windows here, and you'll see I've got a bunch of windows open in various positions on the screen. I can move those around, use my mouse and keyboard. But when I remove the mouse and keyboard, you'll see we get a little pop-up here. Do you want to enter tablet mode? I'll choose that, and now my windows are full screen. And I can use this in a very natural way like a tablet. I can left swipe in to get task switching and then switch between full screen apps. If I touch the start button there, you'll see it's now automatically the full screen start menu, which I can use touch gestures to navigate around. And then, when I'm done using it like a tablet, I snap the keyboard back in, I get a prompt, I can exit tablet mode, and now I'm right back to where I was, able to use it like a PC with windows that are restored, the start menu back in its small size. And the whole point is, a device like this elegantly transforms from one mode to another. And it's happening in a natural way without the UI being something that's confusing to people. And one of the things that we haven't really spent a lot of time showing is how that Continuum experience enables great new PC form factors to feel really natural, like this 8-inch tablet. So here on the 8-inch tablet, which is running that same version of Windows, I'm going to use it like a tablet in this normal way. I can do those same edge swipes you saw. I can use my finger to do things like close app, so I'll pull that app down to close it. And one of the things that insiders have asked about, is this going to work with Win32 apps the same way? Well, absolutely. I can deal with all my apps, whether they're written to the modern platform or the Win32 platform, in a consistent way and use this device like a tablet. Now, the other thing that I can do here, I can switch between apps. I'll pan in from the left. I'll go to my sports app. But this tablet device, of course, running all the capable features of Windows, is a highly powerful kind of thing. I can use touch gestures to move an app over here to the side, and I'm going to do some sports and health and fitness at the same time. I can tile these apps, then I can use touch to move the midpoint. And then, of course, because this is running a full version of Windows, it's a full PC, if I exit that tablet mode, I've got regular Windows with my full taskbar right down here on the bottom, entirely familiar to anyone using a full PC, and you can imagine a small device like this getting docked to a keyboard and mouse and a large screen, and for someone who's a mobile task worker, it works like a tablet while you're out and about, and then it works exactly like a PC when you bring it back and dock it. Thank you, Holly. So that gives you a sense of how the work that we talked about back in September and these core features has evolved since we've done those builds, and how that core experience of Windows really elegantly enables a wide range of device form factors to work naturally the way people will expect in a UI that's familiar to whichever mode of the device they're in. Okay, so that's the part where I want to recap stuff that we've already talked about. From here on out, it's all new. And before I jump into some new demos, I want to point out to all of you in the room and to our insiders on screen, I'm going to be showing you builds that are not finished. And so there's a bit of risk in this demo, and in the interest of having our insiders and all of you with us throughout the development process, we're going to see some glitches. But it's our psychology now to involve people in that development process, and I know you're all curious to see. So these features will be coming. I'm going to show you a range of features. They'll be coming over the next 3, 4, 5 months at varied points of time in our insider builds, and you're going to get to see where they're at today. Okay? So for the first new feature I'm going to show, I need a little help. I know she's here somewhere. Luckily, I can simply summon to the stage, hey, Cortana.
Hey, Joe.
What have you been up to lately?
Well, this morning I set a reminder for you.
Lovely. You too? It seems like everyone's in on that. Anything that doesn't involve my hair?
I correctly predicted most of the World Cup games.
Yes, we know you're very smart. You have the Bing engine scouring the internet and learning everything about everything. You can make predictions. If you really want to show off, though, who's your pick for the Super Bowl?
For you, Joe, Hawks by 78 and a half.
Exactly. You know, I heard you've been telling other people something different than that. I guess this proves you really are a personal digital assistant just for me. I know you've been really busy. You've been getting yourself landed on the Microsoft band. You've been traveling to lots of new places. How do you like meeting people in all these other countries?
I love it. It's fantastic. Fantastique. Fantastico. Jolly good.
Very nice. I imagine those phrases are coming in handy in all these countries that you're now in. I understand you've learned a few languages, too.
7, actually. But my favorite new thing are impersonations.
When 900 years old you reach, look as good. You will not.
Yeah, I expect not. It sounds like you've been practicing that one a little bit. Any other big news?
Do you mean like...
Hey, that's not news yet.
Just so you know, I didn't say anything.
Yeah, I wasn't suspecting you. You didn't need to with all these folks on the job.
So it's official?
Let's you and I make it official right now. Cortana, we're excited to welcome you to the PC. All right. So would you folks like to see how we're going to change the PC user experience by adding in a new natural interaction with Cortana running on real builds? Yes, you're all busy typing. Okay, let's switch over here to a demo machine, and I'm going to show you Cortana running on the PC. And I want you to keep in mind, early builds. Early builds. Now, you'll notice here in the builds that we're working on that our insiders will get a chance to try, down here on the taskbar, you'll see Cortana has a home. And that's because you could go there to click and type, but it's also a place where Cortana will occasionally pop up notifications and useful information, because after all, she's personal and she knows things about you and she's there to be helpful. Now, remember Terry mentioned we're really trying to develop the natural interaction for all these devices. So of course, we can talk to Cortana too. Hey Cortana, how does it feel to be on a PC where that Cortana lives in the cloud? She's been on Windows Phone for a while, and there's lots of things she can do that are helpful in terms of just answering quick questions. Hey Cortana, will I need a coat tomorrow?
You could probably go without one. The forecast for tomorrow shows rain with a high of 50
and a low of 48.
Exactly. And as an entity that's built in the cloud based on Bing and learning all these things about the internet, Cortana keeps getting smarter and smarter over time on whatever device she's on. So she's learned lots of interesting facts that you can now ask questions about. Here's one with a little bit of local relevance. Hey Cortana, how much will it cost to attend the University of Washington?
$12,394 in 2015.
Exactly. So a lot of you are already familiar with Cortana, and one of the key premises of Cortana is that she's a personal digital assistant who gets to know things about you as you use your PC phone, whatever device you're using. And one of the important characteristics for us in designing this Cortana experience was to make sure that she felt like a trusted assistant, and that anything she knew about you was transparent and available for you to manage. And Cortana is even aware of that fact herself. Hey Cortana, what do you know about me?
Well, I have my notebook, so I know what you know you've let me know, you know?
Yes, exactly. She knows what I've let her know about me. And at any time, people can go into the notebook to see what Cortana knows about them. So here's my notebook, and you see I like getting a daily glance of my routine each morning. I track some stocks. I care about lots of sports news, and so on and so on and so on. And anytime I can add new interests to Cortana's notebook manually if I'd like. I can remove things from here if she's learned them incorrectly or if I simply don't want her to know those things. And those interests make her smarter, not just when she answers questions, but also when she pops up information. And whenever you're to engage with Cortana, the Cortana homepage shows up, and you'll see helpful things that she's providing to you proactively. You can see here she's tracking a flight that my wife is going to be on tonight. Here's some stock information, sports news. Obviously, I'm interested in news about the Super Bowl, and so on, and so on, and so on. So that's Cortana's homepage experience right there, and that's available whenever I click to type. I know a lot of you have tried Cortana on the phone, and when we brought Cortana to the PC, we didn't want to just take only the phone experience and put it on the PC. We wanted to educate Cortana about PC kinds of things so that she would be uniquely useful on the PC device. So there's lots of things that we're teaching her to be able to do that are helpful on the PC. Hey Cortana, show me PowerPoint slides about the charity auction. There we go. Cortana, part of the Cortana experience is a search capability that can look on your local hard drive, in your OneDrive, and even on your OneDrive for Business to aggregate together documents that you might want to be able to find through natural queries, whether you're speaking them or typing them. And that's interesting for business use cases, but it's interesting sort of for personal use cases too. Hey Cortana, show me photos from December. She understands all these data types, and like I said, she's looking at lots of different locations to pull that data together for you in a really natural way. Another thing that we tried to do was to make sure that Cortana, everything I've done so far has been via speech. But we know that lots of users, and particularly a lot of Windows 7 users, are accustomed to typing today a limited range of commands into their PC. But now Cortana provides a very rich capability for typing commands into your PC. And we needed to tune this so this would work correctly for the muscle memory of all those Windows 7 users out there. So I can type any of those queries I talked about so far, but also when I do things like type in the name of an app, Cortana is smart enough to filter the choices that she can do for you as you're typing, and then give you the most likely thing that you would want at the press of a return. So here I've typed in part of the word Skype. Cortana recognizes I probably want to launch the Skype app on my PC, but you'll see here as well, she understands all the apps in the store. So this is a way for her to help you find new useful functionality, which are apps in the store. She provides me a quick link to a website. I could jump to Skype.com, and a bunch of candidate web searches that I might do to get helpful information about Skype. Sometimes you'll see settings in there. It's a wide range of things that are all tuned for the PC use case, and you all can try that out when you get a chance to play around with the build. Now, another thing that we wanted to do is to think about the PC sort of as an object in a home or an office. And And suddenly, having Cortana on your PC is almost like having another member of the family sitting around able to help you get things done. At my house, we have an all-in-one PC on a desk that's kind of at the corner of the kitchen and the family room. And with Cortana, now it's like there's someone there who I can ask to do things without changing where I am in the kitchen or the family room. Hey, Cortana, play my music.
Queuing up your music.
You can imagine when you got this extra member of the family right there ready to tell you facts about the world or play your music or get things done. Luckily, you can say things like, hey, Cortana, please be quiet.
Pausing.
I can imagine the change in family dynamics as everybody's asking the PC to do various things in terms of their music and so on. And I got one last thing I want to show you with Cortana on the PC. And that is how having a speech interaction model that's rich and complete and natural in a way that we think people will really use the PC changes your ability to multitask and be effective and get things done. So I want you to imagine. Imagine I'm a financial analyst or an accountant, and I'm working in a giant spreadsheet. And I'm one of these people, I've got like 3 screens filled with Excel cells, and I'm doing my formulas, I'm busy at work, and it occurs to me, oh, I wanted to get a reminder. I wanted to send somebody an email. Well, now I have a personal assistant right there with me whenever I'm using the PC. I can ask her to do things on my behalf. So here I am in my spreadsheet. I want to remember to send an email. I can just say, hey, Cortana, send an email to Terry Myerson.
What's your email about?
A very big moment. C, comma, congratulations, exclamation point.
Email Terry Myerson about a very big moment. Saying this is Cortana's first email from a PC, congratulations. Send it, add more, or make changes.
Send it.
I've sent it.
Great. We'll have Terry forward that on to the team. Hopefully you get a sense that Cortana on the PC really will provide a new natural way for people to interact with these PC devices, whether they're small, light form factors you're carrying around or an all-in-one that's in a room of your home or office. It is the world's most personal digital assistant, and now it's going to be available to millions and millions of people who will all have a chance to get to know Cortana and will continue making her smarter and more capable as time goes on. She has an integrated search capability that makes her able to do uniquely PC kinds of tasks, like finding files and finding photos. And what you saw here is the current state of our builds. This capability will be rolling out to insiders for us to work on and tune over the next several months, including getting to various countries as we ramp up towards our launch. So that is Cortana on the PC. Next, I'm going to change gears and talk a little bit about some devices that we haven't shown yet. I want to focus now on phones and small tablets. Now, as you've seen in a bunch of our presentations, and as Terry mentioned, Windows 10 is designed for a wide range of devices, a very wide range. But what we're doing is tailoring it to be appropriate in its user experience for certain form factors. And what you've seen so far is the tailored version of Windows 10 for devices that are 8 inches and above. So that's laptops, desktops, 2-in-1s, and even the 8-inch tablet that you saw me bring out on stage before. What I'm going to show you now is the Windows 10 version that's tailored for devices that are smaller than 8 inches. So think about small tablets and a wide range of phones at all sizes. I'm going to show you a build that we are working on now to roll out to insiders in a little while. It is a little rough. Again, we're going to be looking at code that's being developed, but let me show you what the experience is like when we have Windows 10 on a phone or small tablet. So what I have here is a Lumia 1520. Let me see if I can pull myself out here a little farther. This is a Lumia 1520 running a recent build of Windows 10. And I'm going to show you First, I'm going to focus just on the core experience and give you a sense of how it aligns with the PC, how it'll be a great companion to the PC. So let me unlock. And the first thing you'll notice, the start experience is quite familiar to people who've been using Windows Phone in the past. But if you look there, you can see in the background, I've got a full bleed customized background image, a nice personalization feature that a lot of our users have been asking for. If I pan over to the right, you'll see we've promoted the recently installed apps right to the top of the app list. So they're really easy to find when you're installing and using apps. So another nice feature that we've been getting lots of requests for. I want to show you the Action Center, which has added some new features and is now synced up with the PC. I can do things like dismiss single items that are shown here as notifications. I can now expand the action buttons just like you saw on the PC, so I get a completely consistent and familiar experience going from one device to another. I also want to give you a quick look at the settings experience here, which again, we've implemented as a universal app to be the same across the PC, small tablets, and phones. It's a little more organized and easier for people to find things, something we've been getting a lot of requests for from people. Oh, look at this. I'm getting a text right in the middle of my demo. That can't be a coincidence, can it? So I also wanted to give you a quick look at how we're evolving input and messaging, which we view as part of the core experience of phones. So here I'm getting this text from Marcus. When is Cortana going to send her first email to the team? Well, she did that already. You guys saw that. Now I'm going to reply. And of course, I think you all are familiar with the WordFlow keyboard on Windows Phone today, which is terrific. It has built-in shape writing. It learns about the things that you type. We've made some improvements there. I'm just going to give you a quick look here on this large screen phone. I can pull the keyboard right over to the right and then do my shape writing with one hand. So that's kind of cool. But I'm not going to do that right now because the theme for today is this natural interaction and lighting these devices up with natural interaction like speech. You'll notice as well right there above the keyboard, there's now a microphone button. So anywhere I can type, I can now talk to reply or put text into the phone, which is a super handy thing to be able to do throughout the phone. I sent it to Terry Myerson, and he's going to forward it. Hashtag, let the good times roll. So there you see, I talked to my phone. Surprise, surprise. My text was recognized, but notice some of the details. I said Terry Myerson, which of course is not a word in dictionaries, but he's a contact that I have, so that utterance was recognized, capitalized. You notice it got the hashtag as a keyword. It put some punctuation at the end of the sentence. It will do these things automatically so that when I talk to the phone, the speech system is sophisticated enough to make the text come out just right. So let me send that text message along. Now, the last thing that I want to show you about the core experience on the phone, and then I'm going to talk about a bunch of value add across all these devices, is how we're going to improve the messaging experience. And to do that, we're going to switch over here to a motion study because this code is not yet ready for me to demo in a real build. What we're doing is we're building in support to the messaging app so that IP-based messaging systems, like the ones that mobile operators are rolling out, and Skype can be elegantly integrated right into messaging. So here you could see I was having an SMS conversation with Peter, but I switched over to Skype, and now because the Skype network is so capable, as Peter is typing, as I'm getting my reply, you could see it showed that he was typing, and the message came right in. We're going to be doing work to detect these Skype-capable endpoints and automatically move to Skype so that users get the richest possible messaging experience that will communicate with the widest range of people. Everyone on a mobile operator network and everyone on Skype, including the cross-platform devices on which Skype runs. So we're thrilled to be building that part of the experience with our Skype team right into messaging, right into calling, and so you'll have that rich Skype experience as part of the phone. So what you saw in the core experience of the phone and small tablet version of Windows 10 is it's tuned for devices under 8 inches. It's designed to go with your PC as a great companion that's consistent and easy to learn. And with the Skype capability, we're going to enable the widest range of people to communicate with each other richly using messaging, calling, and video. But to get a full view of the kinds of things that we're putting on phones and small tablets, and today it's not even a complete view, but to get the full view, I need to talk to you about universal apps, because we are building a wide family of universal apps that will round out the experience on phones, small tablets, and PCs. You all are aware that we have a platform for writing these universal apps that runs across devices, phones, tablets, PCs, even the Xbox. And what we're doing is creating a family of apps that will be built in that will give our customers everything they need for modern productivity. So I'm going to show you a series of these apps. I'm going to show them to you on the phone and the PC, and I want you to think about how they make the experience rationalized and easy as you go from device to device, and they offer that mobility of experience that Terry was describing. The first one I'm going to focus on is Office. I think a lot of you know our Office team has been hard at work creating killer universal apps for Windows. And we've shown some early looks at these at some conference, but so far only on the PC. Today, I'm going to show you a preview version of these on the phone. And just to be clear, what you're seeing are Office apps that are designed for Windows 10 and designed for touch. But we're going to continue to evolve our full Win32 Office apps specifically for the PC. These ones were made for devices with touch screens. So let me switch back over here. I'm still on the phone. Start with Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. Word, Excel, and PowerPoint will be included in Windows 10 on phones and small tablets, and they're going to deliver a consistent, highly rich, and highly complete Office experience on those devices. So as I open up Word, you see I get the familiar recent document list. I'm going to choose this pretty sophisticated Word document, and it first shows up here in page layout mode, but I'm going to use this button to switch to reflow mode, which is optimized for viewing on a touch-based phone or a small tablet. And you can see here it's a very rich, complete Word document. The formatting is entirely accurate, but you really get a sense of the richness when I bring up the app bar down here at the bottom, because what we've done is nicely format the familiar Office ribbon right into the app bar experience. Here's the Word Home tab, where I have all the formatting commands that I would expect. I can switch the ribbon over to one of its different tabs. I'll switch to the Review tab. And you can imagine if somebody sends me, I'm collaborating with somebody on a Word document, they've suggested some changes. I can now use the Review tab that I use all the time on the PC to move from change to change, accept a change, reject a change, add comments, read the comments, do my collaboration while I'm on the go. And with a device like this, you get a nearly no compromises experience in terms of completeness, fidelity, and richness as you're trying to create documents or collaborate with people on documents. We think this will be a great benefit to everybody trying to be productive on their phones. Now, I'm not going to show you Excel just in the interest of time, but I am going to show you PowerPoint. And so, once again, you'll see I open PowerPoint. It's that familiar Office look with the recent list right there. I'm going to open a very large and complex PowerPoint presentation. Here we go. And I want to point out that recent document list, it does roam from device to device, from version of Office to version of Office. So if I'm using full Win32 Office on my PC and editing a document in my OneDrive or OneDrive for Business, that recent list roams across devices. When I open up this PowerPoint presentation, I want to show you once again, here on the bottom of the screen, we've brought the familiar Office ribbon right to the phone's app bar experience, and I can switch here to transition view, to slideshow view, or to review view, just as I did on the phone. But I'm not going to do that. Instead, I want to show you how great a PowerPoint presentation can look when it's projected using any of the recent phones, which have hugely powerful processors and very fixed parts. So in this case, I'm going to pan through this, and you'll see, watch the screen, how smooth the animations and transitions are. That's an on-slide animation. I'm going to keep going. You'll see the hardware-accelerated slide transitions, and then again, a slide animation. And once again, hardware-accelerated transitions, slide animations, and all of that I'm doing today with a wire just because we have lots of people doing wireless in here. But of course, we support Miracast, so you can present wirelessly. With these Office apps, and as part of Windows 10 on phones and small tablets, we'll also support wireless printing. So we think this version of Office, tailored for Windows 10 on touch devices, will give people a very complete easy to use, consistent cross-device productivity experience. Okay, I'm going to keep going. Those 3 apps will come as part of the Windows 10 build on phones. And now I'm going to start talking about something also come on the PC. I'm going to show you the Outlook Mail client first. Our Outlook team has been working on a new universal app version of Outlook Mail and Outlook Calendar, which will be on the phone, tablets, and PCs. So here's Outlook. The first thing I want to do here is I want to show you the richness of the Outlook experience and how it fits into full Office. So I'm going to open a mail message, and I'm going to choose to reply. Because the first thing I want to show you is that right here when I'm composing an email or replying to an email, I'm actually using the full Word engine that's now part of the phone experience. And I can prove that by pulling up the app bar. Right here in my Outlook Mail experience, I get the same Word ribbon. I can do all that nice, rich Word formatting right here in my email experience. And sort of the intensely geeky part of my demo right here for all of you in the room who I know are very familiar with Word. Word's engine supports the lorem function, which I can enter, and when I press return, it provides a whole bunch of Greek text for me to be able to format and do cool things with, but in the interest of time, I won't do that. I will let you all try that yourselves when you get the insider builds of this, and you can play around with that full Word engine built right in here to the Outlook email on the phone. I'm going to keep going, and actually what I'm going to do now, I want to give you one quick look at messages here in the inbox, because the team has tried to ensure that you can use this in a very fast, convenient way. Whoops, I didn't mean to, let me go back. What I'm going to do here is go through and show you how the Outlook team has implemented this cool idea where a left swipe will delete, a right swipe will set a flag. And what that means is you can quickly go through a bunch of mail and figure out the stuff you want to get rid of and the stuff you want to keep. This modality will be familiar to some of you in the audience. I can go left and say no, no, no. I'll go right and say yes, yes, yes. No. So we'll do one more, yes. And so I can flag items, make them visible, and then as I use this experience across my devices, let's switch over to the PC, you'll see here's that same code. It's literally the same code written to our universal app platform. I was showing it to you on the phone, and here it is on the PC. This is the Outlook experience on the PC. This Outlook Mail client will be part of Windows 10. Our sync just caught up, and you'll notice it's familiar. It looks very similar. On the PC, it has this personalizable image, which I've set to my son and I can do the same UI. I can go left to remove, right to flag. If I choose an email, of course, it goes over there. And again, I have the same rich capability right there. And you see the ribbon is displayed in place on email. Now, I want to keep going because I want to show you a bunch of these apps. So I'm going to start speeding up, and I'm going to attempt to do two-handed demoing on phone and PC at the same time. So the next thing I'm going to do is go to the calendar. Let me open the calendar, and you saw on the PC, I did this in a familiar way just by clicking the calendar right down there in the bottom, something lots of Outlook users are accustomed to. And here you can see the calendar is rich and attractive, it's familiar, it's high performant, I can scroll around all these items. I'm now going to zoom out on the PC, and you'll bring that up on the phone so you see what it looks like on the phone. It's the same code running on both devices but formatted to fit the right screen. And hopefully, as you saw me pan through this collection, one of your takeaways was, man, that looks nice. Joe must have done a bunch of work to set it up for the demo. Well, what we're trying to do is make the software do the work for you. So I want to describe what's going on behind the scenes here. On any device that you own, even cross-platform devices, phones, where you're taking pictures, we have a OneDrive app, and it's built in on Windows devices that uploads your images to OneDrive. On the PC, we're syncing your images down from OneDrive to the PC so they're available locally offline as cloud. This photo app is aggregating together all of those photos from all of those devices and giving you one simple view of your collection. If you want, you can go into the folders view and look at the detail, but we're going to try to give you one simple view. Once you start doing that, some bad things will happen. You'll get duplicate photos that are showing up twice. You'll get photos that are a burst shot where you took 3 of them. Our collection view eliminates all those things for you automatically so that you get a look at the photos without seeing all that clutter. Another thing we do is we automatically enhance the photos to make them look nice. So here's some photos going back in time, and this one is a good example of that auto enhance mode. You notice up there in the toolbar, auto enhance is on because it's on by default, but I'm going to show you what this would look like if it was off. I'm not sure I want that scary guy in my Christmas photo collection. Luckily, auto enhance handles all these things for you. I'll turn it back on. You see the red eyes are removed, the face is brightened to just the right level of brightness, and so we've made the photo look better. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about the horrific Christmas sweater. But we're still happy with the capabilities that we're building in on the PC and in the cloud to do this auto enhancement, which you'll get benefit from on all your devices. And in case you're one of those users that wants to do things manually, of course we will let you manage these settings yourself as well. You can turn any of these features off and so on. Now, not everything I described is going to be in the first build for insiders, but the features will be coming. And there's one other feature of photos that I want to show that's not yet in our builds. So we're going to run a motion study here. And this is showing our albums feature. I mentioned how we're going to automatically remove dupes, automatically improve the way pictures look. We're going to also automatically create albums. And so what you see here in the collection view at the top are automatic albums that we created. And we do this by detecting the place, the time, the people that were in a series of photos, and then we create a collection, which we call an album. If we can, we give it a name. We let you manage it yourself if you'd like to, but we'll do it for you. When I open one of these albums, you'll see we image, the one that we think looks best. We show you the people that are in the album. That's me with my kids doing a 5K run. And then we choose a sample set of photos that we think tell the story of the event. We format them so they look nice on the screen. We handle all of that automatically for you. It's in the cloud, so then if you'd like to share that album with other people, you can. Our intention here is to have a Photos app that exists on all these devices and that deals with the complexity of all the images you're taking with your multiple devices and make it work consistent across all of them. It's that mobility of experience that Terry was talking about. And part of it we can do because we're implementing it one time using our universal platform. 3 more apps I'm going to show you. I'm going to go even faster so you get a sense of overview. We're going to do this by motion study. The first one is our People app, which we're implementing, again, as a universal app, one time across these devices. It aggregates all the people you care about across social networks, and it lets you perform quick actions like making a call or sending a message or doing a Skype video call. Next up, our music experience, which we're continuing to evolve across all these devices. And what you'll see here is how we're using the cloud to add a song to a playlist, and then it shows up magically on all your devices. That's because in about a month or 2 months, we're going to add support to our system for you to put your music collection in OneDrive and have your collection stored in the cloud so you can make changes to your playlists or to your collection on any device, and they're automatically reflected on all your devices. Next up, I want you to see our Maps experience, which starts with some Cortana integration. Cortana has recognized that traffic is slow, so you can open the Maps app on your PC, find an alternate route, send it to your phone, and then when you use the turn-by-turn directions to drive somewhere and you arrive, you can have Cortana remember where you parked your car, and then when your event's over, she's there to help you find where you parked. So, that is a quick tour of our family of universal apps that we're building for the phone, small tablets, and PCs, and which we intend to deliver everything that you need, activity, and which we intend to give you that mobile experience tailored for each device size they're on. In particular, we're excited to have Office, bringing a version of Office built for Windows 10 and optimized for touch, with Word, Excel, and PowerPoint on the default phone experience and available in the store on the PC, and with a new Outlook, Mail, and Calendar rounding out the experience so it's great for productivity. I have one more app experience I want to show you. And to do that, I want to get you thinking about the state of the web. The web is indispensable. Everybody's using it. And over the last number of years, it's evolved hugely, in large part because of the explosion of highly powerful mobile devices. We've seen site authors evolving their sites in a sophisticated and interesting way and targeting a wide range of devices. And since we've had this rapid evolution of the web, and since we're building this new set of devices on Windows 10 with a universal platform, we think it's the right time to build a new browser for the modern web, which will empower our next generation of Windows users on Windows 10. So today, I'm excited to introduce you to codename Project Spartan, our new web browsing experience for Windows 10. So Project Spartan has a number of parts. First, it has a new rendering engine under the covers that's built to be compatible with how the web is written today. It has a new look and feel, which you see on the screen, that it fits right in with all this family of Windows 10 applications. And we're especially working on significant new features to make you more productive on the web as you use Project Spartan. So I'm going to switch over for the last demo and let you take a look at Project Spartan running on the PC. Now, Project Spartan will not be in our very first Insider builds. It's going to come a little later, and it'll come to the phone a little after that. Now, I'm going to show you it only on the PC today, but it is coming to the phone. First thing you'll notice here is the new UI streamlined. It fits in with the design language of Windows 10, and you can see the focus is on the content on the page. But what I want to do is just give you a taste of these 3 significant new features we're working on to help people be more productive. The first one is about how you can interact with the web, and in particular, how you might communicate with other people about the web. So, sometimes web articles come out and people want to post them to Facebook, or they want to talk to other people about them. There's a lot of interaction that happens with content on the web. And this happened to our team about 2 weeks ago. And it happened when this article posted on the internet. This article comes out, and you can imagine all of us are simultaneously horrified and kind of happy. And so, of course, within our team, we communicated with each other about this article on the web, but we had Spartan. So we didn't simply send emails. Many of us had devices that work with pens or styluses, which I have here. So I'm going to switch into the first of these big 3 features, our note-taking mode. And you could imagine when I saw this and I said, "Oh, baby, sometimes you guys don't get it right, but sometimes you do." So, we saw this, and we communicated with each other by marking up the web directly. And in this case, I'm using a stylus, but I could do it with just my finger if I don't have a pen handy. If I want to make a little smiley face to show just how happy I am, that's possible. And so now we have this way of expressing our thoughts right on the canvas of the web. It was interesting because this article came out and a bunch of people speculated, oh, I hope Microsoft isn't only doing this for devices with touch. And we're not. So let me show you how we're going to support the mode of communicating about documents that millions of people have been doing for years and years with Word. They can click anywhere and add a comment using their keyboard. This is a good idea. So you could imagine, as we saw this article, some people had touch devices, some didn't. Everyone could comment on it using whatever form of input they had. If it's touch, then it's natural. If it's a keyboard, then it's familiar. And so once I've marked up this page, there's a bunch of things I can do with it, of course. What we've done is we've frozen the web page. And that means that the content that might change on it is sort of snapped in time, but the links are still alive. I can then share that whole page or save that whole page for myself with my markup. Or I can go over here. I'm going to grab this clipping tool, and I'm going to just pull out this particular segment. You can see there I could save it to my OneNote because I keep a bunch of notes on things as I browse the web when I'm planning trips and so on. I could copy it to the clipboard, or I could come right up here and use the system's built-in system for sharing to share that with other people. I could share it on Facebook. I could share it on Twitter. I could share it through my email experience in a consistent way. And now I have a rich canvas for not only expressing my thoughts on the web, but for sharing them with other people as well. So that's the first of our 3 significant end-user features. The second thing that we tried to do was focus on the action of reading. People are I mean, the predominant action on the web is reading. You're reading and reading and reading and reading. And we felt if we could make that just a few percentage points better, then we'd significantly affect the overall productivity of people on the web. So there are a few things we did. The first thing we did was we looked at how we could take and sort of standardize a great way to read sites on the web, which are variant in their level of complexity and so on. So here's an article on Bon Appetit. I'm going to switch into my reading mode right here, and you'll see we discoverably make available a standardized format way for you to read stuff on the web. And you can personalize this to your liking so that you have a way to experience the wide range of content out there on a web in a way that might feel familiar to you. We didn't stop there. We also added a reading list right into the core browsing experience. And of course, this will show up on whatever device you have. I can add items to the reading list. It's a mobile experience that goes to whatever device I'm using. And we do one more thing, which is that we'll take the content in your reading list and save it offline. So if you find yourself stuck on a flight with no Wi-Fi and your mobile device is with you, well, Spartan will deliver you content to read wherever you are. And then the last thing that we wanted to do was we wanted to make sure that we supported the broadest set of content that's out there on the web. So we built in support for PDF files. And you see right here, I have a sample PDF file. I can add that to my reading list. I can mark it up with notes in the note-taking mode. It'll be saved offline and so on. So we're really trying to ensure that the widest range of content on the web is available for people to read wherever they are. Okay, last thing. The third thing that we tried to do to make people more productive on the web was to give you a personal assistant to help you be productive. So we're building Cortana right into Spartan. And the idea is that Cortana will show up at the right opportune moments to help you get things done. So there's some simple things she can do. So if I'm in my address bar and I'm curious about the weather, I can start typing weather, and Cortana will pop up and be helpful in simple situations like that. But she can help in more interesting and nuanced ways at times that might surprise you a little bit. So let's say it's my sister's birthday. It's not, but for demo purposes, let's imagine it's my sister's birthday. And her friends are having a surprise birthday party for her tonight. Remember, my wife has that flight that's coming in that Cortana's tracking for me. Man, is my wife going to get here in time for us to make it to the party? I'm not sure. I might go to the Delta website to look up my wife's flight, but luckily, Cortana knows that I'm tracking a flight because she's learning things about me all the time. And she can save me time and effort by popping up as I'm about to navigate somewhere on the web with what might be an answer to a question that I have in mind. So that's yet another example of how Cortana can help out. Similarly, as I'm browsing the web, Cortana can be right there at my fingertips, ready to let me know things about the pages I'm looking at. So you can see here, my sister's party is going to be at this restaurant called Cuoco. My wife is gluten-free, dairy-free, and I'm on a crazy diet for New Year's. And so we have this concern about a restaurant and how am I going to get there from here? You notice when I visit the restaurant site, Cortana has popped up right here to tell me she knows about this place because, again, Cortana is scouring the internet, learning about people and places and getting smarter all the time. She's telling me she's got directions, hours, and more. When I click, she shows up right here within the web browser to give me details about this place. She's telling me directions from where I'm at right now, and I can make those available on whatever device I'm on. She can book a reservation for me. She shows me the hours. I can read reviews and so on. Remember my concern about the menu? Well, Cortana's there to help too. She knows where the menu for this restaurant makes it readily available. And if I'm curious about ingredients as I scan down this, I know what a lot of these things are. I'm not so sure about rapini. I can just right-click and ask Cortana, and she's right there with an answer. Luckily, rapini, only 2.7 grams of carbs, so that'll be okay for me on my New Year's diet. That's a quick look at Project Spartan. It's a new implementation of a web browsing experience built on our new universal platform, and it goes cross-device. It's great at productivity with note-taking right on the web, We're trying to tune the reading experience to make it the only browser with a personal assistant built right in. Okay, that is my look at Windows 10 and where we're at, and a whole bunch of features that will be coming for insiders to try out over the next few months. 3, 4 months, 3, 4, 5 months. These things will all come in at different times. What you saw today was an early look at where we're at in the development of these. We're bringing Cortana to the PC, and we're going to change the way people use PCs through this natural interaction. Project Spartan is a new browsing experience tuned for being mobile and working across these devices. We have a family of universal apps that are going to make people productive with these devices. The user experience is tuned to a wide variety of form factors, so you get benefit from things like Continuum, where your device will adapt to how you use it. There is one big app experience that I didn't talk about. I was focused on productivity. It's as much about entertainment, people having fun on our devices. So to cover that off, I'm excited to introduce to the stage Phil Spencer, who's going to take you through gaming and entertainment in Windows 10. Come on out, Phil.
Thanks, Joe. Good morning. I'm Phil Spencer, and as the head of the Xbox team, I lead the talented and creative teams responsible for gaming at Microsoft. I'm incredibly proud to be here with you this morning to talk about gaming on Windows 10. Earlier, you heard Terry describe our vision for more personal computing. I'm here to talk about how games, as a form of entertainment, we're not just viewers, we're participants. Whether we're in the trenches with our friends, fighting for survival, or winning the race against the best drivers in the world, exploring and building new worlds, gaming has always been inherently personal. We're deeply invested in our worlds and our play when we can share our triumphs, our stories, and our greatest creations with our friends. We at Xbox have the most active social network of gamers in the world with Xbox Live, with over 50 million members. And by combining the feedback from this great community with our vision for making all aspects of computing more personal, we've identified several ways to make PC gaming even more incredible than it is today. Gaming has become a much more social activity, with everything from friendly co-op between close friends to professional tournaments with hundreds of people spread across continents. Connection and community are central to the game experience. Today, we'll show you how gaming on Windows 10 will be more social and interactive by bringing together the best of the games you love to play, the people you play with, and the epic moments they create. All of this comes together in the Xbox app on Windows 10. I want to take this opportunity to show you the app. It starts
If you're wondering what that black screen was, it was the stream halting itself. It starts with
nothing.
That was the part that I was actually most excited to see live. They're talking about the Xbox app, so they're trying to talk about some of this communication. We kind of previewed that before we started about how Windows 10 will be integrated with the Xbox better, what type of things it'll be able to do. So they're showing it off with their Xbox app and how it's plugged into Xbox Live and the community. But also, it looks like from if you're at live.cnet.com, we have still photos of the event while we're ramping up to get the live stream back up and running. But it looks like they're saying, our own Nick Status saying that the app looks close to Steam. We start off here at Steam, obviously, if you want to download for PC directly to your computer, all kinds of games and apps. The app lets you share videos from your Xbox and keep track of what's happening in your gaming circles with an activity feed. There's a Facebook-style recap from your friends list. The activity feed is incorporating social networking stuff. On the console, they're saying they've seen millions and millions of these video clips that you can upload, shared. And so how they were talking about how could they bake this technology
right in the operating system itself, allowing people from any Windows game to share those epic moments. As I said before, Windows gaming is incredibly vibrant today. I happen to be a big Steam customer, so let me go into Steam. You see all of my friends down on all of my games down the left on Steam. Steam runs incredibly well on Windows 10. I'm using it to launch one of my favorite current games, Sid Meier Beyond Earth. So this is a game that obviously shipped before Windows 10 was even a word. It knows nothing about Xbox Live, but it's obviously running on Windows 10. I'm going to launch it, and I'm going to show you how the game DVR feature on Windows works. So let me just start a single-player game. I'm just going to start a simple game from the beginning, so you'll see it. Come on, there it is. Play. So here's the game. So I'm going to make a couple moves. Move these guys. Oh, scary green wasp guys. Okay, with a simple click, Control G, Windows G, excuse me, Windows G, I bring up the UI for saving gameplay clips on any Windows game. Now, usually what will happen, what you see, and a lot of apps will allow you to do this, you click the red circle, you start a recording session, you record the gameplay that you want, then you can store that off. But what we found on console is those epic moments are unexpected. It's something that you weren't expecting to happen, and on the console, with a couple clicks of the button, you're actually able to save the last 30 seconds of gameplay, something you didn't know, and you're really surprised. And we wanted to build that right into Windows 10 as well. So by clicking on this icon here, I'm actually capturing the last 30 seconds of gameplay on any game running on Windows. Click it. You see the toast come up here. It shows the clip has been recorded. Takes me back into the Xbox app where I can do the same things I can do on the Xbox. I can clip from either side. I can share it to Xbox Live, which you saw Melody do, what Melody did with her Minecraft app clip, or I can share on any other social network. Now, I'm going to choose to share this out to OneDrive, which clip from the game DVR Beyond Earth, and I can take that and share it anywhere. We think this will create more incredible viralness for the game developers and the gaming fans out there who want to share their moments. You know, bringing more power to Windows 10 gaming is incredibly important to us. Now, the DirectX is the graphic subsystem inside of Windows 10, and DirectX will make the games you're playing today even better. What you're going to see on screen here is a visual comparison that's under development at FutureMark, which shows the same piece of hardware running DirectX 11 and a DirectX 12. And we're adding more complexity to the scene, and actually eventually the DirectX 11 side frame rate effectively hits 0. And you can see the DirectX 12 side continues to add complexity and continues to keep a high frame rate. Again, same piece of hardware running, one on DirectX 11, one on DirectX 12. Performance has always been incredibly important in DirectX. And what we've done with DirectX 12 is we've given developers much more fine control of CPU and GPU, giving them direct control. And for CPU-bound games, this will actually increase the performance of those games by up to 50%, which is going to allow developers to create amazing scenes on screen. Their artists will go crazy with the amount of complexity that they can add. But with DirectX 12, we also know that people are playing millions of games on phones today and other devices that are powered by battery. So we thought, how can we take advantage of the increased performance, but also focus on battery life? People want to play those games longer. They want them to look great. So with DirectX 12 and our focus on power consumption, we've actually cut the power consumption required in half for the same scenes from people using DirectX 11, which means you're going to see more incredible games on mobile devices that people can play for even a longer time. I think it'll be great for the huge mobile gaming development out there, and you see more and more high-end mobile games that are just really taking advantage of the graphic capability. Now, none of this is possible if we're not getting the adoption from the studios out there. We have hundreds of studios. We're incredibly happy that they're already using Unity. One of the largest game engines in the industry have also adopted DirectX 12, which will unlock the DirectX 12 capability to the thousands of developers out there, from schools to high-end developers, to take advantage of what DirectX brings. Now, today, people are playing games on more devices than ever. And with Windows 10, we wanted to focus on gaming scenarios across device. With the Xbox that we're bringing to Windows 10 and our first-party portfolio, and welcoming my friend Lauren from Lionhead Studios, who will come out on stage.
Hi, Phil. Now, I'm actually in a game right now, so if you want to have a look at your friends list, you'll see me and you'll be able to join my game.
There she is, LH Albion girl, Lauren Carter, and she is playing Fable Legends on that Xbox One right there. I'm on this Windows 10 device that I showed you earlier, running the Xbox app, and by simply clicking on her name, I can join her game right now.
Right, let's go get those creatures, Phil.
I'm here to help.
So Phil's playing on his Windows 10 PC, and I'm on the Xbox One. What's great about Legends on Windows 10 is it enables PC players to play with or against players on the Xbox One. We're also using DirectX 12 to give our players a gorgeous world like they've never seen before. Okay.
Oh, the ogre.
Oh, there's quite a few bad guys.
We can do it. Nice.
And there's the treasure.
How's that for dashing?
So later this year, join Fable Legends as a hero or villain on Windows 10 PC and on the Xbox One.
Thank you, Lauren.
Thank you.
Good job. Now, for those that were watching on my screen, you might have seen that I received an achievement. Just like I have on Xbox 360, Xbox One, achievements are an incredible part of our Xbox Live ecosystem. I got an achievement. It showed up in my activity feed. All of my friends know that, okay, I got this achievement on playing Fable Legends. We think enabling people to play multiplayer games on Windows 10, multiplayer games across Xbox One and Windows 10 will really unlock the potential of Xbox Live and grow the social network that's there today. Now, today, we've talked about the games that you already own and how we can make those better with DirectX 12, how we can make those better with features like Game DVR. We've talked about your existing hardware and how that will get better with DirectX 12. But one thing we haven't talked about is the library of games you already own on Xbox One, especially the console-exclusive games, which aren't available on Windows. Wouldn't it be great if we could play those games from anywhere in our house, from the couch, out back, in my bedroom? I'm here to announce that with Windows 10, we will enable streaming of Xbox One games to any Windows 10 PC or tablet in your home later this year. And I'm going to show you a demo of that now. So I'm now moving over to this Surface Pro 3 here. There it is. Now, if you follow me and watch what I play at all, you know I'm a big Forza fan. So I wanted to take this opportunity to show off one of my favorite games, Forza Horizon 2. You see it in my recently played games list here. Now, I've already set up a relationship between this Surface and my Xbox One in my home. I do that one time. The Xbox app will find all of the Xbox Ones in your home, and you set up that relationship. So in my games, it's actually showing me all of the games that are installed on my Xbox One and making them available right here inside the application. So I can click on Forza Horizon 2, and you see stream from the Xbox One. And we're starting the stream. And here we are. Now I'm going to pause state on Forza Horizon 2. In a second, I'm going to unpause it, and you'll see the game running from an Xbox One, streaming to this Surface Pro 3, and me controlling it with this controller. So here we go. Love this game. The frame rate, resolution, the game looks great. I'm playing against AI characters right now. I could be playing a multiplayer game. I'm going to try to pass at least one person. Yeah, okay. So we got past one. I can bring Xbox UI right here. Now, if I know I'm done playing with the click of a button, be able to turn off the console right here from the Xbox app as well. And I'm going to do that. And I'm back in the Xbox app. We think it's an amazing unlock for our Xbox One customers that they're going to be able to play the great library of games that they already own on any Windows 10 PC or tablet in the home. I hope you've enjoyed a look at some of the exciting changes coming to make gaming even better. We've seen how Xbox on Windows 10 will bring an entirely new integrated experience for connecting gamers across devices, and how Windows 10 is bringing new capability to games you already own. And how Windows 10 will unlock your existing library of games on Xbox One to enable play on all of your Windows 10 devices. And while Xbox is coming to Windows, Windows 10 is also coming to Xbox One. Joe did a great job of demoing amazing Windows features, and you should wait to hear more from us as those features find their way onto Xbox. Now, with Xbox moving to Windows, I don't think we're going to see millions of people using Excel on their Xbox, but I do know for developers that want to bring their application over to the television screen, this is going to make it very easy for them to do so. At Microsoft, we work hard to create the most all with you.
Wow, that's some really cool stuff. Now, Joe and Phil just shared with you some incredible new Windows 10 experiences, and we don't want to keep you waiting. So in the next week, we will be releasing a new build of Windows 10 to our insiders. And then, after the Seahawks win the Super Bowl, we will be releasing our first build of Windows 10 on phones. And with these new builds, we will be increasing the number of languages which Windows 10 is available in from 4 to 25. As the features roll out, we are looking for that feedback from our insiders. How natural is Continuum on your 2-in-1? How easy is it to edit Office docs on your phone? How fun is it to record a Windows game with Xbox Game DVR? We are looking forward to feedback from insiders all over the world. And now, let's really switch gears. and talk about entirely new Windows 10 experiences. I showed you earlier how we envisioned Windows 10 in the workplace. On the wall, there's this large screen.
I am delighted to introduce you to the Microsoft Surface Hub. This is an 84-inch 4K display with integrated compute. It has built-in sensors that actually detected me when I came to the screen. It has built-in cameras, speakers, mics, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, NFC. It's got it all. All you need is one cable to get started. So why don't we get started? Right from the welcome screen, I can get to work. I can call, I can whiteboard, or I can connect my personal device to share content onto the screen. While I could talk to you about many scenarios on the Surface Hub, we're gonna focus on two things today, two key scenarios: brainstorming, and number two, meetings. And as you may have noticed, when I picked up that pen, the whiteboard automatically launched. And what you're seeing here is OneNote. OneNote designed for the large screen. I can write, and the ink is just fluid. It doesn't lag. Just like a pen on paper. I can even move things around. I can make more space if I need to. But of course, it is not only about inking, and a digital whiteboard. It's about how we bring rich data to inform the brainstorming. So let me ask David to join me so that we can show you what it looks like on the Surface Hub. Hi, David.
Hi, Ayat. Hi, everyone. Let's open up a 3D model of the Surface Hub.
Because this is a Windows 10 device, I can bring all sorts of content onto the device, including applications. In this case, David is opening a Siemens application showcasing the 3D rendering of our Surface Hub. As you can see, he can zoom out, rotate, look at different views so that he can get insights. Hey, David, do you mind putting the app side by side with the whiteboard?
Sure.
I think I've seen something I'd like you to capture for me. Can you find the camera for me, maybe?
Yep, yeah. There it is.
Can you clip it to the whiteboard? Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. So as you can see, I was able to capture an image of the app, put it on a whiteboard, and even take notes on it. And because this is OneNote, I can actually save it to my or send an email. So no need to take pictures of your whiteboard with your phone anymore. So we've discussed brainstorming. Let's switch gears now. Let's discuss meetings, because we have lots of those. And I think we can all agree those meetings could be better. Do you know that it takes an average of 12 minutes to start a meeting? From the time you bring people on the call to bringing content, this is not a good use of our time. So let me show you what we can do on the Surface Hub. So David and I are having a meeting with our colleagues, and we're going to be discussing the design of a pen. The meeting is already scheduled on the Surface Hub. With one tap, I can join the meeting. The remote attendees automatically join the call. The content that is on the screen, they can see it as well. They can see what David is writing. And of course, it's that easy with the Surface Hub. And what you're seeing here on the screen is Skype for Business. It is designed for the large screen. It's taking full advantage of the hardware, the mics, the speakers, and the dual cameras. Hi, team. So why don't we bring some content to this conversation? After all, this is a meeting. In meetings, quite often, it is challenging to bring content onto the screen. And with the Microsoft Surface Hub, we've made it very easy for you to be able to project your content from any device via wireless or wired. And in this case, David is going to be projecting for us a deck that he prepared on the pen. Hey, David, do you mind bringing the slide on the portfolio of pens?
The portfolio of pens, sure. I think that's the slide you're looking for.
Actually, I meant this one. So, team, this is the pen we would like to consider for final design. So, as you can see, I could move the content on the screen, and I could even ink on it. And not only could the remote participants see what I was doing, everything I did on the screen is reflected back on David's device. This is what we call ink back and touch back. Another great example of mobility with Windows 10. So now we've made a decision. We're ready to end the meeting. All I need to do is go to the Start button and end the session with one tap. The content from the meeting is now shared with all the participants in the meeting, and the device gets cleaned up. It is now ready for use for the next meeting. It is that easy with the Microsoft Surface Hub. I'm very proud of what we've shown you today. The best work we do is when we come together. And we believe that with the Surface Hub, we will be able to unlock the power of the group in a workplace. It brings the best tool to create and brainstorm. It'll make your meetings productive and engaging. And it delivers a platform for amazing large screen application. And of course, it is designed in such a way that you can deploy it anywhere in the enterprise, from your office to the huddle room to the conference room. And we look forward to seeing our partners embracing this experience. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Hayat. Now let's talk about the second entirely new Windows experience today. We were inspired by the idea of mixing our applications and games back into the real world. But obviously, no technology exists of its kind to make this possible. Now, in my decades in this industry, there's been a few times, a few key moments where a technology or an experience has just blown me away. And we've created one of those experiences with Windows 10. And right here, right now, we're going to share it with you. So please welcome Alex Kipman.
Thank you, Terry. And good morning, everyone. A few years ago, we started asking ourselves, could we make things so simple that technology would just disappear? Could we make technology more human and easier to control? Could Windows make your digital life more powerful by connecting it with your real life? Could we place your digital content right into your world, right into your life, with more reality than ever before? Until now, we've immersed ourselves in the world of technology. But what if we could take technology and bring it into our world? Just as punch cards turn to keyboards and mice turn to touch, with each major advancement in input and output, technology becomes more personal. Each advancement decreases the distance between us and technology. Each step brings us closer to more personal ways of computing. And today, we take the next step. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but no, we're not talking about putting you into virtual worlds. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm really excited about all of the progress being made in virtual reality. But virtual reality may not be for everyone. We're dreaming beyond virtual worlds, beyond screens, beyond pixels, and beyond today's digital borders. We're dreaming about holograms mixing your world. Welcome to a new era of Windows. Welcome to Windows Holographic.
Look around. Technology is all around us. We use it in every aspect of our lives. It enables us to do amazing things. But what if we could go further? What if we could go beyond the screen? Where your digital world is blended with your real world. Now we can. This is the world with holograms. What will they enable us to do? New ways to visualize our work.
I have an idea for the fuel tank.
New ways to share ideas with each other.
How are things going your end?
I just put the images in OneDrive.
Perfect.
More immersive ways to play. New ways to teach and learn.
So put the new trap in the place of the old one.
Now what?
And tighten here and here.
New ways to collaborate and explore the places we've never been.
Look at this formation. Let's take a closer look.
And new ways to create the things we imagine. Because when you change the way you see the world, you can change the world you see. This is your world with holograms.
This is the world with holograms. And today, you'll not only see that holograms are real, but more importantly, this afternoon, every single person in this room will experience holograms for themselves in our labs. So how do we get here? Let's think by way of example about human beings. We are constantly processing terabytes of information. We are sensing and we're absorbing infinite noise and translating it into very simple signals. Just think about catching a ball. We can perform this action from a very early age. Nobody had to teach us about it. We didn't have to go to years of advanced math or physics to learn how to do it. It's inherent in what makes us human. Now imagine if take the same sensing capability to process all of this input about the world around us so that we could see the world as we see it. That will give us new ways to interact with technology, new ways to create, and new ways to explore. That's the dream we've been pursuing, and that's what you get when you mix holograms in our world. Imagine an engineer seeing instructions overlaid and in the context of their work. Imagine an architect walking around their designs all while their clients are reviewing it remotely. Imagine a surgeon learning a procedure without ever having to pick up a scalpel. Or imagine my personal favorite. Imagine turning your living room into a surreal gaming environment. Now, I know this sounds perhaps crazy, maybe even a little bit impossible. But this is why I fell in love with this art form at a very, very early age. In software, nothing is impossible. At best, things are improbable. And with a little bit of luck and a lot of pixie dust, the improbable becomes possible, and holograms can become part of our everyday life. Holographic computing enabled by Windows 10 is here. Every Windows 10 device has APIs focused on human and environment understanding. Holographic APIs are in every Windows 10 build, from the little screens to the big screens to no screens at all. At its core, Windows has always been built with an ecosystem of partners. Throughout our history, we have brought new attributes to Windows in ways that empower not only developers, but also our device makers to unleash their creativity to the world. Was created from the ground up with that same heritage in mind. Want to create a holographic app? Easy. Developers, Windows 10 is yours. 10 is yours. Can be made to work with Windows Holographic. We invite you to unleash your imagination and come create experiences not possible on any other device or any other platform. Want to create a device powered by human or environment understanding? Built for Windows 10. This is the first fully untethered holographic computer. HoloLens is real, and this will be available in the Windows 10 timeframe. Look at what's inside. HoloLens has see-through, holographic, high-definition lenses. This is how we can see holograms right into our world, right into our lives, with more reality than ever before. HoloLens has spatial sound, so we can hear holograms even when they're behind us. It has advanced sensors to capture information about what we're doing and the environments we're in. Now, HoloLens comes with a built-in high-end CPU and GPU. But that wasn't enough. To handle all the processing required to understand the world around us, we had to go beyond the traditional CPU and GPU. So we invented a third processor, a holographic processing unit. It gives us the ability to understand where you're looking, to understand your gestures, to understand your voice. It gives us the ability to spatially map the entire world around us and to run without any wires, all while processing terabytes of information from all of these sensors. This is everything we need to step into the holographic landscape. All we need to create, all we need to consume, and all we need to share holographic experiences. HoloLens enables holographic computing natively with no markers, no external cameras, no wires, no phone required, and no connection to a PC needed. We believe Windows 10 will fundamentally make everything people do with computers today more valuable, more immersive, and more personal. Let's listen to what developers that have for years been working on Windows Holographic think about the possibilities.
When you think about how you experience technology today, it's like behind this glass screen, and you're kind of stuck. It feels cold. We've unlocked the screen.
Really what we're trying to do is break down the walls between, technology and people.
This is the next generation of computing. This is the next PC.
It's basically a see-through display that you wear, and it lets you see holograms in your world, in your space, all around you.
The hologram itself, it is light and it's an imagination incarnate.
The ability to draw with your hand or to take an asset, an image and move it or scale it is a very natural way of interacting with it.
Here's what you can do with holographic video. Here's what you can do with using your world as a game level. Here's what you can do with taking the power of 3D modeling and creation, and guess what? Pulling it out of a screen into real 3D, and then sharing what you've created with others.
That was science fiction, and now we're bringing it into science fact.
This is by far, far, far the hardest, most complex, most challenging, and most intriguing thing I've ever done in my life. We just recently started engaging with third parties to build applications for the device, and the things they're doing they're humbling.
When you've got 1,000 different people from all different backgrounds with all different types of experience, you're going to see that the stuff that we've built at the beginning is just a tiny scratching of the surface of, what this technology can do and what it can mean for people.
When the other perspectives come to it and all the creatives out there, it's going to blow our minds.
This is a new medium for artistic expression and a new medium for creation that we've just never had before.
This platform is going to truly blend your digital life with your physical life. And it is so thrilling. This is truly about seeing the world in a whole different way.
As you just saw, holograms are being sculpted by some of the most creative people around. But holograms are not just for creative people. They can unleash the creativity in all of us. Remember the first time you experienced Microsoft Paint or Solitaire? Those timeless experiences let you discover what a mouse and keyboard world felt like. In that same timeless fashion, we wanted you to discover what a holographic landscape feels like. So we created Holo Studio. Holo Studio allows you to create your very own holograms. It allows you to 3D print them and then share them with the world. Are you guys ready to see your very first live holographic experience, all running on Windows 10? Please help me welcome on stage my dearest friend, Lorraine. Hi, Lorraine.
Hi, Alex.
So as Lorraine gets set up, let me walk you a little bit on what you're going to see. I'll point your attention to this screen here behind me, where at first you're going to see through Lorraine's eyes. You're going to see exactly what she's seeing in the hologram spin to the world. Then as we start building, we'll swap to this custom camera rig right here so you can easily understand how holograms fit into your world. So let's meet our first holographic person, and who better to introduce us to this holographic landscape than our very own Terry Meyerson. And look how well pinned Terry is. Now remember, Lorraine is seeing the hologram in space in real time. Shall we play it, Lorraine?
Play.
Wow. Nice work, Windows 10. I'm a freaking hologram.
Welcome to Windows Holographic. Windows knows exactly where Lorraine is looking. And with a simple gesture, Lorraine can launch Holo Studio. With Holo Studio, anyone can create personalized 3D creations in just minutes. For today's creation, Lorraine is going to create our very own customized quadcopter. Now, Lorraine, what kind of custom design for the quadcopter are you thinking about today?
Well, I'm sort of a space nut, so I thought I would go with a UFO theme. And I think you'll see I've got this cool ray gun shape I'm going to use in a minute.
Ooh, I like it. As Lorraine starts building, you notice that everything is as easy as tap, then gaze, then tap again. Now, voice commands are amazing in Holo Studio because HoloLens understands precisely where she's staring at.
Glue touching. Okay, let's get some color on this, Alex. I think I'll go with a bright yellow. Let's put some of that here and there.
Now, as Lorraine finishes building the first leg of the quadcopter, she's going to have to create 3 more. And notice how easy it is for her to mirror and then copy it.
Mirror. Okay, I've got 2, but I'm going to need 4 of these, Alex. Let's get it right. Oh, right down. There. Good. Glue. That side. Good. Copy. Okay, I've got 4, but it's oriented wrong. Rotate. Movement.
Holo Studio is an entirely new way to work with 3D content. We call it Build 3D in 3D. Now, this is possible because holograms behave just like real-world objects.
Okay, I'm going to get a few more pieces that I want for my project. Let's see. Go with this one first. Put that there. I think I'll get this dome piece. And I think I'm going to need a decoration for later. Put that there. Okay, it's UFO time. Let's get this right on top. Oh, too low. Resize.
Holo Studio is simple, yet powerful tools make it easy for anyone to create 3D objects in just minutes.
Okay, let's get that bright yellow again. There we go for this piece.
I like where you're going with this, Lorraine. Why don't we show them the magnet tool?
Okay. Magnet. Let's put it right there. Okay, I'll use that tool again for my decoration. I think I'm going to want a few of these. Copy. Maybe one over here. Oh, not way over there. Copy. Good. I think more would look nice. Right. Good. Glue, touching, touching. Rotate. What do you think, Alex?
I'm getting a good Area 51 vibe. I would totally fly that. Now, holograms are like print preview for 3D printing. Now, wouldn't it be amazing if we could take Lorraine's creation and turn it into a real quadcopter? So we did. This is a 3D print we made earlier of Lorraine's creation and Lorraine's quadcopter. This was made entirely in Holo Studio. What do you think, Lorraine? Shall we take a
Do it.
So much fun. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex.
I hope you enjoyed this glimpse of Holo Studio, a fast and simple workshop for creating your very own holograms. By now, you might be wondering, where has all this creation, where has all this experimentation been taking place? We've worked on this program for years. And as you heard earlier today, we're not exactly known for having a good track record for keeping secrets. Ironically, our Windows holographic laboratories are located directly below this room. We've been hiding in plain sight, out of all places, in the Microsoft Visitor Center. In this top secret space, only a select group of visionaries, leading scientists, and creators have worked. In that very secret space, we've had the great honor to partner with one of the most innovative organizations in history. An organization that's accustomed to reaching for the stars. An organization that literally takes on moonshots. So let me leave you with a sneak peek at how holographic computing, enabled by Windows 10, will fundamentally change how they think about exploration, discovery, and collaboration. Thank you very much.
OnSite is a tool that we're building in collaboration with Microsoft to connect scientists and engineers with the environment of the Curiosity Mars rover. Since we can't put our scientists yet physically on Mars, a technology like this allows us to investigate, well, what's possible if we can make them virtually present?
This was the first time where I could basically do a 360 and see Mars all around me.
I love the fact that people, when they first encounter this project, have a feeling of, wow, you know, I've lived to see this.
Instead of looking at 2D images, they can now walk around and explore Mars in their office.
It was part inspiring and part just like, wow, I can finally do this thing that I really want to do. I get to see using this every single day.
It is a different way of exploring. That's transformation. Our plan is to deploy OnSite to mission operations this summer and to be controlling rovers on Mars with this technology in July.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Satya Nadella.
What an incredible moment. It's just amazing technology. These are the kind of magical moments that we live for. Our industry's progress is punctuated by moments of category creation. Windows 10 and holographic computing is one such moment. What you just saw in terms of the experiences, many of you in the room here are going to experience more this afternoon. You're going to play Minecraft. You're going to be able to see Skype in a completely new way. They're just going to be mind-blowing experiences. Today is a big day for Windows, a big day for what it means to our customers, to our partners, and to Microsoft. It is about Windows and our innovation going forward. It is about new categories, new experiences, and most of all, about new opportunities. It is also about our ambition and aspiration for Windows and its impact in the world. The fact that there are 1.5 billion users of Windows is incredible and humbling. It's a responsibility that none of us at Microsoft take lightly. But we have bigger hopes, higher aspirations for Windows. We want to move from people needing Windows to choosing Windows to loving Windows. That is our bold goal with Windows. I've talked in the past about Microsoft's mission being centered around empowering every individual and organization on the planet to be able to do more and achieve more. I've also talked about how we're going to go after that mission by focusing on things that we as a company can uniquely do and contribute, being the platform and productivity company in a mobile-first, cloud-first world, by doing excellent and world-class work when it comes to gaming experiences. Those are the strategies that are going to help us realize our mission. And Windows 10 is core to all of that, is central to all of that. Windows 10 is built for a world where everything, or nearly everything, both at home and at work, is digitally mediated, where you want to be able to interact with your computing environment in the most natural of ways, from speech to touch to ink, and now, of course, gaze and holographic output. Windows 10 is built for a world where there are going to be more devices on the planet than people. That means the mobility of the experience is what matters, not the mobility of the device. Windows 10 is built for a world where not only are you consuming lots of data and content, but you're generating lots of data about yourself, about your environment, and you want to be able to reason over all of that in a trusted way so that you can enhance the very experiences across devices. Windows 10 ushers in an era of more personal computing in a mobile-first, cloud-first world. You saw the experiences throughout the day. It's not just a checklist of features. It's that design sensibility that allows us to put the more personal into computing and build things that center around you. You see that in the way we've approached Cortana and how it knows you on all your devices and helps you proactively. How our Spartan browser will enable you to browse the web and annotate the web and share the web. How the Surface Hub takes something like joining a meeting and makes it easy and really brings the power of the team together in a meeting. The first time I had a chance to see HoloLens and experience what a NASA scientist can do in terms of moving the rover and then being able to walk onto Mars was nothing short of surreal. These are the experiences that make Windows 10 that more personal computing environment that people are going to love. I want to talk about 3 specific strategy points around Windows. First, I want to talk about Windows as a service. I want to talk about Windows and mobility, because that I know is top of mind for many of you. And I want to talk about how does Windows and our cross-platform strategies come together. When it comes to Windows as a service, it's a pretty profound change. It's not just the mechanics, although they are big changes in terms of our development methodology, our deployment policies, or servicing. It's much more than that. For us, it is about aligning our goals of success for Windows with and their experience and engagement with Windows. That's what Windows as a service means. For customers, they're going to get continuous stream of innovation. Not only continuous stream of innovation, but also the assurance that their Windows devices are secure and trusted. For developers, it creates the broadest opportunity to target. For our partners, hardware and silicon partners, they can, coincident with our software innovation, drive hardware innovation. And lastly, for Microsoft, it allows us think of success, measure our success in a way that is aligned with customers and their engagement. We want people to love Windows on a daily basis. Let's talk about Windows and mobility. Throughout today, you saw an explicit focus on mobility of experience. That's our worldview. In the full arc of time, when we talk about mobility, it is not about the mobility of any single device, but it is the mobility of the experiences across devices. That is what we are focused on. We are building into Windows the experiences from productivity to gaming, how Spartan and the browser comes together, how Xbox Live comes together to enable that seamless crossover across devices as you move around at home and at work. We also have unified our developer platform. The Universal Application Platform is what now runs across the phone, the PC, and the TV. And of course, now new categories such as holographic. And the fact that we've unified the application platform means developers can write applications that can target the widest set of Windows devices. We have a unified store that means creates a unified way for you to monetize as a developer. And we believe that's what's going to make us attractive for developers. Driving and stimulating demand with our Surface Hub and what we are doing with HoloLens. And you can be assured that we will do some fantastic work from the flagship phone to the affordable smartphone and have a full lineup of phones that will be available with Windows 10. Let me talk a little bit about our cross-platform approach. Simply put, Windows is the best place. It's the home for the very best Microsoft experiences. We are going to have services everywhere. But when it comes to Windows, we are not bolting on apps. We are seamlessly harmonizing our experience. The way Cortana is built in, the way Microsoft Account and Azure Active Directory from an ID perspective are built into Windows. How OneDrive and the Sync framework are built in. How Skype and Outlook are built in. How Xbox Live is built in. This is just built as part of Windows as a native experience where the scaffolding of the shell as well as the applications come together in the most seamless, delightful, personal ways for users. That's what we are doing with Windows. We absolutely are going to have our services and their applications.
All right, guys. You know what? It's been hanging for a little while, and we know that they're pretty much wrapped up. That's Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella, just kind of recapping everything that was happening.
I mean, if there's going to be one more thing, they're going to have to really outdo themselves after HoloLens, right?
You can't. Oh, here we go. All right, let's go back to him, and then we'll talk. We'll be back.
Over the holidays, I had a chance to see an 11-year-old girl unbox a Lumia 535, which was their very first computing device for the family. and get ourselves set up on Microsoft account and all of these services and download Candy Crush and Skype and teach our parents about what it means to use those things. And this was in India. And that experience, that delight in that little girl's eyes left an undeniable impression on me. Those are the moments of true inspiration for me. And I know that that's what everyone feels. What you saw from Terry to Joe, Phil, Hyatt, Alex, and everyone else. That's the passion that drives us. Windows, unlike any other product at Microsoft, does bring all teams together to build Windows. And so we are really looking forward to how our Windows insiders use the new builds of Windows, the new flights of Windows, and the feedback from that is very important. This is one of the most collaborative releases of Windows, and we're looking forward to that feedback cycle. We want to make Windows 10 the most loved release of Windows. Thank you very, very much. Let me have Terry Myerson come back on stage. Thank you.
Thanks, Satya. Today we expanded our device family. We showed you some incredible new Windows experiences, and we shared our aspiration to upgrade every Windows device to Windows 10. For those of you here with us this afternoon, you're going to get to see Windows 10 close up on phones, PCs, tablets, the Internet of Things, Xbox, and you're going to be some of the first ever to experience holographic Skype, holographic Minecraft, Holo Studio, and NASA's application to help their scientists walk on Mars. In the next few months, we're going to shift our focus to focusing on our hardware and software partners that are building great applications and devices with Windows 10. We have our Game Developers Conference. We have Mobile World Congress in Spain. We have WinHack in China. This all culminates at our Microsoft Build Conference in April, where we will be discussing innovation across the entire Windows 10 platform, including holograms and how Windows as a Service makes Windows 10 the best Windows development platform ever. This is a conference you're not going to want to miss. And then later this year, we will launch Windows 10, connecting with our customers through Windows as a Service, and there'll be some great new hardware from Microsoft and our hardware partners, including, yes, flagship Windows phones. I think you'd all agree, today really is a milestone in the history of Windows. I'm proud of the work the team has done. Windows 10 will forge a new relationship between us and our customers, consumers, developers, and the enterprise. Thank you for joining us today to discuss the next generation of Windows, Windows 10.
All right, guys, welcome back. Thanks for hanging with us throughout that keynote. That was
By democratizing
I'm hearing. They're just playing
Matt.
video. We don't need to watch that video.
Yeah.
I think we're good. I mean, we've been going. What?
We've received all the propaganda. Now we can synthesize it.
We've been indoctrinated.
Yes.
We are all about it.
Now, was there really anything we needed to know from Windows 10? What was the takeaway for Windows 10 for you?
Well, here's the thing. You know what? I mean, it may not have been as cool. Well, aside from the they didn't announce the official price yet.
Price, right?
Yeah, the official price yet. So we'll still wait on that. We were kind of bouncing between the actual live stream and the blog. I will tell you, I put down a lot of notes of the stuff that I saw. Now, this is not. I'm not going to all of a sudden jump over and switch ecosystems, but without a doubt, their Cortana, which just felt like shades of, if you guys have seen the movie Her. Have you guys seen that movie Her yet?
Yes, yes.
Like, really, just the natural language of speaking to someone. That kind of freaked me out because during the demo, Belfiore was asking a question and then almost in his head talking out loud and then asking another question and would follow up. It was as if it was creepy. I mean,
It was more conversation.
Yeah,
than I've heard
and
before.
and stuff like this though. I like seeing that.
Still, I bet that there was some woman under the stage with a
Wait,
microphone.
that's what we were saying. Yeah,
voicing her.
We're like, is there
"That's
someone
a little
behind
bit
the
too
stage?
Smooth. I don't know. There's
she
no
says-
point was she like referring you to the web to look something up. It
But
was
it-
like,
But it was I just think when I see stuff like that, because what we've seen with voice recognition and capture, and how it works, that just kind of raises the bar overall.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that I'm gonna jump out and buy a Windows phone right now, and that's fine. But I mean, I got all kinds of notes, so we'll also take calls from you guys. We'll stick around for around 20 minutes just to kind of recap things. Dan Ackerman, our what his game?
Hey, guys.
His throne. He wanted to come back. He was like, dude, I got things to talk about. I mean,
Get me on.
They showed a lot of stuff with Xbox integration, and then some of the Windows experiences. We'll kind of let you guys drive this conversation and ask us what you guys want to talk about. But I just thought there were a lot of cool little bells and whistles across the board of Windows 10 that we hadn't seen before that made me go, you know what? I see what they're trying to do. Really throw in all these services. I like how Skype is totally integrated with everything. I thought that was pretty sweet too. But anyways, I'm going to stop blabbling. Dan, give us kind of your where are you, temperature wise with what you saw? What did you like? What didn't you like here?
Two primary thoughts jump into my head. I Skyped in just as you guys were talking about the Cortana demo, and I noticed there was one line where she started to answer before he even finished the question, which makes it seem a little sort of suspicious demo-y to me.
Yeah.
I wonder if someone later will put the question directly to Microsoft and say, was that a real demo or was that sort of canned and pre-recorded? A couple of years ago, there was a stabilizing camera in a phone that some company was showing off. I forget who it was. And when they looked at the footage, they saw a reflection of a professional camera crew in a van.
Right, the DSLR reflection. I remember that one. Yeah.
Yes. And secondly, I think the headline here really is, even though everything went, fairly smoothly, Windows 10 was sort of overshadowed at its own press event by
really
all
good.
this new hardware that they put out there. People love seeing hardware. I was ready for, the Surface Pro 4. My fingers were on the keyboard, ready to write a Surface Pro 4 announced story, and I didn't get to do it, but I did see that Surface Hub, which is kind of a big 84-inch monitor. I have trouble with a 28-inch monitor. I don't know what to do with an 84-inch one. And, of course, the HoloLens. On Twitter, I pointed out that anyone who's a gamer will recognize that from the kind of artsy PlayStation game Heavy Rain from a few years ago, where the main character had exactly the same thing. I put a picture up, and I got a ton of people retweeted that. So people must remember that one like French artsy adventure mystery sci-fi game. Maybe we're finally getting there. But everyone's got one of these now. I can't imagine in 12 to 18 months most of these holographic, augmented / virtual reality competitors will still be here.
I at the very least, right? I don't, everything that I saw here as a user isn't going to. I'm not compelled to buy anything different. I mean, I would love to be there and try those demos just to experience it. But is this something that right now? I know our behaviors change over time, and I might be, taking back everything I say here in 5 years, right? But will I be using this stuff every day? Yeah.
I mean, goggle-based augmented or virtual reality does not work for the same reason, and a sociological reason that 3D television didn't work when people had to wear the big active shutter glasses, because it cuts off your peripheral vision and the connection to other people in the room with you.
Who needs
and
other
you
people,
lose.
Dan? Who needs other people?
Listen,
I've got my phone.
goggles.
I've got my tablet. I've got my goggles. I've got all kinds of things. I don't need people.
And then yet you and Donald are sitting there in the room chewing the fat together. You're not broadcasting from an isolated booth like I am, because you need that interaction. What it is something I call the social utility of that shared experience, even when you're using technology. And when you have something that literally blocks your vision like this, even if you can see straight out of it, it really messes with that sort of that group experience. And that's what people like to do, to get together and play games and look at the computer and do stuff. Go, oh, look at this, look at this. There is a great social utility there of that in-room experience that you lack with those goggles.
Yeah. Hey, Donald, what did you overall take away from this event? Any highlights or whatever? Because I know you like lowlights.
No. I mean, I thought the hardware, both the monitor and the
Surface Hub was
HoloLens, was just a really big surprise. I was expecting this, like Dan, going in. It was going to be Windows 10 focused, maybe the Surface, but I don't know. It felt like a strong presentation. I feel like people are walking away from this with a better idea of that Microsoft is really trying to innovate and try to compete more directly against Google in some ways than they are against Apple. I mean, we still don't have an Apple TV, right? And there's no sense that Apple is pushing some kind of innovation beyond, coming on with a watch this year. I feel like what we saw from Microsoft today really made Apple seem very old school compared to the things that they're announcing right now. Whereas it's much more in line with what I expect from like a Google I/O presentation.
Yeah, you know what? I'm there with you because I like when these. I think Microsoft. We've always been wondering what are they doing with virtual reality. Well, this is what they've been doing, right? Their whole HoloLens, and you see some of these big out there ideas, and it's like kind of cool candy for us. Oh, this is cool. It's fun to see, but at least it shows you that they're innovating in different ways from other competitors. Where, like you said, Apple's keeping it pretty standard, safe. They're playing it safe. It'll be pretty much like you said, the watch, and probably more likely not even an Apple TV, just some sort of Apple TV set box this year with all new software. So, they have their market share. They're happy. They're fine. But I started to see just more overall innovative stuff, not stuff that I would buy. I love that Surface Hub screen. I mean, for corporate enterprise use, when you talk about business, that is made for business. A full-on interactive touchscreen whiteboard. I thought that was sweet. But the two takeaways that and we'll touch upon them now, stuff that's going to affect you within the next year. Obviously, Windows 10, they really showed and exemplified how it is more versatile in person. And then also, its integration with Xbox One, really one of their huge cash cows for Microsoft as a company, and being able to stream some games from the Xbox to your PC or tablet in home. People will actually do that. That's stuff that I could actually see myself doing. It doesn't mean that I'm going to buy a Windows tablet anytime soon for me, but people that are comfortable and using that ecosystem, that's a gain. That's a plus for them.
I mean, it is a plus. It's a plus in the same way that with the PlayStation little TV box, you can stream from your PS4 in your house to it, and using Steam, you can actually do a lot of that streaming from a machine playing a game to like another device, like a handheld device or your TV. That's what the whole kind of Steam machine concept is for getting stuff on your TV or the NVIDIA Shield devices. So it's that transportability of games. I think that's super fun. I think the real innovation was, and we talked about this before, I didn't think that they would do the free upgrade thing, and it turns out they did because they realized, obviously, getting everyone on the same platform is just super important and makes it easier for them to do security updates to keep everybody, on the same level of software. Look at the fragmentation in Android that causes security problems all the time.
Yeah. Hey Dan, I just need to clear something up because maybe we missed something because our stream was going in and out and we were juggling things. They said. Let me just confirm this just over the air right now. The free upgrade will be available for free after a year, but you first pay for it in year one. Is that correct?
That's not how I heard it, but I was also saying, I think if you have a current machine, when Windows 10 comes out, you'll get the upgrade, and that will continue
for free if you have 8, right? 7? Is it 7
if you have
get
7,
for free?
If you have 7 and 8, I think you get their free upgrade, and they're just saying it'll be free for at least a year. That's how I heard it.
Okay, yeah, there we go. I just wanted to clear that up because it was because our signals were all mixed up. I'm like, it seems like it's actually free, but we weren't sure. So if we're wrong, we're not trying to send the information out incorrectly, but we just got that's. As I kept on, looking at stuff while the keynote was going on, that's what it appeared like. So, okay, cool.
Remember that most people who get the new version of Windows, they don't go out and buy it in a box or download it and install it on the machine they have. They just, when they buy a new computer, it just comes with a new version of Windows on it, and Microsoft makes their money from selling that license to Dell or HP or whoever you're buying the computer from. So if they lose out on consumers going to the store and buying a box copy of Windows 10, that's not really that big a deal because nobody really does that anyway.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's take a phone call from Robert. Robert, where are you calling from, Robert? Oh, maybe I should actually take the call here. Hey, Robert, what's up, man?
Hey, I was watching the stream, but how I was noticing during the whole Holo, when they were showing the whole holographic part, that when they originally started showing off some of the main features, so just through one eye, and then when they brought it all to the whole Holo Studio, it just showed off from the other camera and not kind of switching between two cameras. So we don't know what it kind of looks like from her point of view in Holo Studio.
Right.
Yeah, and you know what? You're right on the money. We were all just impressed that they could actually at least give us some idea of what she was looking at, because it's quite honestly, it's really hard to being in video to show off something like this that's going through someone's eyes and at least giving you a sense of perspective. So you're right, but at least we were able to get a sense of what she was doing. I mean, I thought that was pretty sweet.
It was more engaging than any Oculus Rift third-person demo I've seen. You know, it's one of those things where unless you have it on your face, you're not going to really know what it is. But yeah, it was pretty cool.
Hey, Robert, what did you like the most out of the keynote that you saw today?
Oh, I mean, I was also watching it during class too. So.
Oh, Robert!
We won't tell.
I'm sorry. I was like ahead in the class already. I'm just sitting there. I had to watch it on mute. So, but what I was able to see, on the drive home, was the whole Xbox integration.
Yeah.
For myself, I am an Xbox gamer, and seeing streaming and cross-platform play between both Xbox and a Windows PC, and probably even towards a Windows Phone, I find that quite enjoyable.
Yep, you're right. You're in the wheelhouse for the person that is. You know, when I saw that, I'm like, that's a plus for anyone in the ecosystem. So that's right there for you, man. Okay, well, thanks for watching, and we appreciate it. Hey, Robert, before you go, what's your teacher's name? What's your teacher's name?
And school name, please.
Schaffner.
Mr. or Mrs. Schaffner?
Mrs.
Mrs. Schaffner. Look, whoever knows Mrs. Schaffner right now. Hey, what state are you calling from, Robert?
We're gonna get your social security number.
Washington. Oh, so you're Washington.
North of Redmond.
Okay, Pacific Northwest. Okay, we're getting closer.
Cool.
Are you in high school or college?
I am in college, and if you're wondering what the college is, Gadget Valley.
Was it?
Gadget Valley?
Gadget Valley.
All right, Miss Schaffner, Gadget Valley. Robert won't listen to you. Well, he was just watching our keynote in mute and not paying attention to you. Was there closed captioning on ours, or you were just looking at the pictures?
I was looking at the pictures. I didn't have my laptop on me. I was watching it through your guys' stream.
Man, that's love right there.
That's level.
That's love right there. All right, Robert, thanks for calling in.
Thank you.
All right, cool. Hey, Beecham, what did you like on the keynote today?
I thought the hologram stuff was really cool. It's like I wanted him to say, Obi-Wan, I need your help, you know, when they showed the
Here's
little
the thing,
hologram
we all
guy.
agree it was cool, but would you like
Super cool.
invest in it?
I don't know. I mean, it depends on what would it be, you know, just those glasses. Yeah.
I mean, I'm just asking right now.
I don't think
Dan
I would.
Ackerman, game guy, you know, I mean, tablet, everything guy. I mean, yes, looks super freaking cool. Forget about price point. Let's just say they were even. Let's say this is very low. Let's say they were $300. Okay, that's kind of that little. Would you even buy something like that for $300?
I mean, the interesting thing that they pointed out was that it's got the CPU and the GPU built in. It does not require it to be tethered to a separate computer that drives all that stuff. And I think that one will indicate that it would be expensive. But it also makes it much more self-contained and therefore more interesting. That said, they didn't really show off any sort of gaming stuff for it. It was all very practical. Sort of augmented reality, press some buttons, turn on the coffee maker remotely, do some 3D sculpting, and then they mysteriously brought out, we printed this beforehand. It made the same shape. I 3D printed all the motors and the batteries.
You picked up on that too, huh?
That was a bit phony. I'm reminded of the original Kinect demos that everyone now knows were pretty much completely phony back when it was called Project Natal. And you had like the virtual kid who popped up and was like a real life little boy. And of course, that was just totally made up.
Well, honestly, I just thought the demo of holograms was really cool. Holograms.
We're going to have a lot of fun with that for months and months and months.
Always. Okay, guys. Well, you know what? I think we kind of covered the bases. We will be back here in our CNET Live studio when the next big event goes down.
Well,
but
we know, at least from Microsoft, there's going to be, probably announcements around
February.
Well, Mobile World Congress, right? Yeah.
March.
And
March
then
Mobile World.
They're saying build in April. Right.
We sometimes we typically have covered the game developer conference stuff. I mean, we'll be here with you guys all year. So Dan, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Could you just send us away with could you send us off with the tiles?
Little tiles.
I think what Windows 10 needed was more tiles. More tiles.
All right, Donald Bell, thanks for hanging out with us, buddy.
As always.
Mr. Beecham running the show
My
a
pleasure.
champ.
My pleasure.
And that Windows stream, that wasn't on us. That was on Microsoft. So let's maybe they were running on Microsoft 10 earlier or
Blame the
something.
holograms.
They need to get on that. All right, next time. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. Again, you can watch and look at all of our coverage, the follow-ups to everything that happened at Microsoft's Windows 10 event, CNET.com. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.
See ya.